Here's a quick disclaimer. The views and opinions you're about to hear are those of the hosts and guests alone. They don't represent any police department, agency, sponsor, or employer. Two Cops, One Donut isn't responsible for anything said by guests or for any videos, clips, or content shown during the live stream. This show is intended for adult audiences only. We cover real incidents, we show graphic and sometimes disturbing footage, and we don't shy away from strong language or adult conversations. There may or may not also be alcohol involved. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Everything you hear or see on the show is for entertainment and educational purposes. It is not legal advice and it's not tactical instruction, and it shouldn't be used for such. By continuing to watch, you're telling us that you understand, you accept all of this. All right, now let's get into it. All right, welcome back to Cops One Donut. I am your host, Sergeant Eric Levine. Today I got with me the one, the only, I sit with Alan. He is finally back. What's up, buddy? You're muted. We can't hear you.
Sorry. And this microphone, if you touch it, it has a mute button on it.
Oh,
I love it. But it's been a whirlwind of a month. Spent a lot of time in the hospital with family members and things like that. So
I know. You had a shit run of luck. You had a shit run of luck, sir.
Yeah. It's, I'm glad it's over with. So
good. Good to have you back, bud.
Thank
and then we have the man, the myth, the legend, HBOMATT. What is up, brother?
Hey guys, what's up?
Matt, I can tell you, we have had several people on the show that have been requested by all of our community. You are one of the highest of those that have been requested. On top of that, with Long Island Audit, San Joaquin, Otto the Watchdog, they want us to get Jeff Gray, civil rights attorney, Southern Law Draw. So you're amongst legends that they wanted you on here.
A lot of the friends in that list.
Okay, well, good. I like that. Maybe we can network after this. But okay, folks in the audience, I appreciate everybody jumping in. So I'm going to give some quick shout outs to our normal regulars. Freeman Keys, what's up? Michelle, which is my mom, Matt. Michelle's in the chat. What's up, Mom? Mr. Billfold is in the house. Who else is in there? I didn't see. Jerry's in the house. What's up, Jerry? Appreciate everybody jumping on. Okay, so rather than have Matt sit here and explain himself and where he came from, I got a little video, right? This is how I know of him, and I pulled it up. So I'm going to share the screen here. And
it only got 1 million views back on the old Police the Police 3 Facebook video channel.
I
think it was version 3. Yeah, I think about 1 million on there.
Okay, so I got it pulled up already. This is if you're not familiar with HBOMATT, go to HBOMATT, Blatantly Armed Media on YouTube. That is his channel. That is what we're watching this on. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, because he's a good guy. But this is what I remember. So let me biggie size this real quick. And we are gonna, I fast forwarded it because he's doing one of the OG audits. This was from about 6-7 years ago.
This is the first time I recorded a cop.
6-7. It was your very first. Dang, you hit gold your first time.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I don't know what camera he's using, but you're a good distance away because that no outlet sign is not the clearest, of course. It could be
about 200 feet away.
200 feet? Okay. Let's play here. He had been recording for a while. Never approached this. You can trust me, I watched it.
How's it going?
And this hop pulls up.
Just watching, making sure nothing goes wrong.
You got an ID with you?
Sorry, I don't.
Is it ID crack?
No, I'm not in my truck. Plus,
I'm literally standing there in my pajamas.
I'm not committing any kind of crime.
You realize you are in
Missouri stop ID?
illegal to record the police officer. I can seize your phone right now.
It's a live stream. It's a live stream, so there's no evidence on the phone.
Go ahead and end it.
Nope.
End it right now.
Sir, you just committed a couple of felonies. It's protected Supreme Court law.
Do you understand what I just said to you?
All right, so I'm going to go into a cop explanation right away. You could hear that Matt gave him an unmet expectation. His expectation was he was going to come up, he was going to say, I want your ID, and Matt was going to give it to him. Because that's how 99% of interactions typically go for police. They are used to people just simply complying because they don't want no static, they don't want no smoke, but they don't fully understand their rights. Matt was standing on his rights. And were you in a public area?
I'm standing in the parking lot of a truck stop looking across the street into the parking lot of another truck stop.
Beautiful. Public space. I love it. If anybody had a right to be there more than the other, it'd be you because you're a truck driver. So it makes more sense. So when that unmet expectation hit, he went from trying to think logically and reasonably to his lizard brain. He started thinking outside of that prefrontal cortex and went into an emotional place. And that's why he raised his voice and he started spewing a bunch of bullshit. Well, he was spewing some bullshit right before that, but like being illegal to film, not true. What state was this in?
This is in Missouri.
Okay.
I can tell you at this time, we're looking at the riots are starting up. And I can't remember if it was in St. Louis or Kansas City, cops had just arrested somebody for not giving ID for recording. And we're trying to push the city was trying to push a statute saying you can't record cops. So that he's basing all of this off of a 15-second news clip from a jurisdiction we're not in because we're not in the city over the city trying to pass a law saying you can't record cops because they're tired of cops getting recorded and starting riots when they do bad things on video.
Okay. So spewing some bullshit. I'll keep with that. And he's not meeting you're not meeting the expectations he was expecting. And this is where it starts to go awry.
Stop it right now. Stop it right now.
Hey, Arnold's pulling up. You got the stuff right there? I'm going to go over there and have a talk with. Right here.
They did give me this body cam fast.
Oh. I would hope, and I'm gonna end this right here because we can just talk to you through the rest since we already know that he overstepped. But I'm going to assume, or I'm going to hope that most departments are just going to jump and give you that stuff up front when they realize they fucked up.
Missouri's got a sunshine law, so they're pretty good about giving that kind of stuff unless there's an open criminal investigation.
Okay, cool. So kind of explain what happened after he takes your phone, turns off the live stream.
Takes my ID, says you can be arrested for this, and forces me to go move in front of his patrol car, and he goes in and runs my info and finds out I really am a truck driver with Texas with no criminal record, and he probably goes, well, shit. He comes back out of the car and spends 5 minutes cop-splaining to me about how it's illegal to record, and then starts talking about how he saw a red light and he thought I might have a weapon on me, so now this is all legal for what he's done because I might have had a gun on me or something. And I tell him, Missouri's open carry and not stop to ID, so I could have had a rifle on my back and there's nothing you could have done about it.
Yeah.
Which is at that point when I decided from then on, every cop watch I did, I'd be open carrying. He's pretty much the reason I decided that that's what my channel would be about. He then gives my ID back and tells me to get back in my truck, don't record again. I ask him, are you going to arrest me if I pull my phone out and start recording again? And he says, yes. I say, thank you, wave at his body cam, turn around and go back to my truck.
I would have started recording again.
Well, I had a load on my truck. I didn't want to get arrested and get fired.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, so this question gets asked to just about every 1A audit that we've had on. And again, guys, I understand he may not have been a 1A auditor per se. I just use the language because it's the same type of behavior. That's all. He's video recording the police. That's just a way that I say somebody's recording the police. I say 1A auditors. They may not be auditors. Matt, were you an auditor at that time? Did you consider yourself that?
I'd been watching everybody do that for 3 years, which is how I managed not to screw up my first time. I don't really care that much about the definitions, cop watcher, auditor. Yeah. It's the purpose behind what you're doing is what matters, not the exact words you pick to try to articulate it.
Thank you. I like that. Mr. Billfold dropped $2 in the chat and said, Matt has been busy. He and Otto are rocking Texas. So Mr. Billfold is one of our tried and trues. We actually, he's been a part of us so diehard that we had him on here one day to argue qualified immunity against a very popular police lawyer. So it was kind of fun watching them go back and forth. But okay, so you get. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe one day I can convince CJ to come on here.
CJ, which one is that?
CJ Grisham, this guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Heck yeah.
He's the first A2A lawyer we got in Texas. 20 years, retired E8 Army counterintelligence. He's the guy who created Open Carry Texas, the one who got arrested for walking with his kid Boy Scouting. So after getting arrested 3 times for open carry, once he retired, he decided to use his GI Bill to go to law school, and now he's a pretty damn good lawyer.
Hell yeah. I like it. Yeah. I used my GI Bill to get my master's in criminology and criminal justice because I knew I'd be a cop. So makes sense. I'm not as smart as he is, but I did use that GI Bill because I wasn't gonna let the military take my money. They use us just as much, so I'm gonna use them right back, Okay. So this becomes a thing. You get arrested. Well, you didn't get arrested, right? But you did.
No, detained for 15 minutes.
But you did sue them, right?
Yes.
And you won.
They settled for $75,000.
How long did that take?
About a year. It was Solomon Radner. It was about 6 months before it was my turn, and he filed it. And then 6 months after he filed it, they were ready to start settling.
Okay. So after you, and I'll explain my reasoning why I'm asking you this stuff. So after you do that and you get your 75,000, how much of that cut went actually in your pocket versus some went to the attorney?
Third for the lawyer.
A third for the lawyer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 50,000. Now, this is where this question's coming from. People get on here all the time and they're like, "Oh, easy money, easy money." Oh, true. And I've learned that from Long Island. I learned that from San Joaquin. They're like, we've been in litigation on some of their stuff for years, and it still just keeps getting stonewalled and dragged out.
If he hadn't made that second threat and pretty much doubled the lawsuit, but him saying, if I pull my phone out and start recording again from 200 feet away, I'm going to jail, literally doubled the lawsuit, doubled the charges, doubled the number of items on the actual lawsuit, made it completely impossible for them to defend. If he hadn't done that, they probably would have fought. But him doubling down like that, it's just they didn't stand a chance. And Missouri knows when they've lost on something like that. It's not like Texas, where Texas Municipal League has orders to take every cop, watcher, or auditor to trial to try to bankrupt them.
Yeah. Our guy 936 at HBOMATT, did Conroe take down the 30-6 or 30-7 signs down?
Not yet. I haven't given them official AG notice though, because I've got to get down there during an actual meeting to give them effective notice.
What are we talking about?
So in Texas, about 4 years ago, the state legislature changed the law, and you can carry into any open government meeting now, city council, school board, all of them, if you got a carry license. Texas Municipal League, again, told all the cities to ignore the law. So state legislature modified it just a little bit to take away their little gray area they were bullshitting about. And ever since then, they still haven't complied. So back around Christmas, I decided to make that my project and used Corpus Christi, my hometown, as the first example, and gave them notice. And the Attorney General's office decided it was time to start kicking ass on this stuff and gave Corpus their notice. They took their signs down. Now San Antonio has done the same, College Station, Waco, a couple others. Some of the local towns around Corpus have. So far, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, and Houston have not. They're not going to enjoy that decision. It's a $10,000 a day fine. You don't take the signs down once you've been given notice.
Holy shit. Okay.
That's just the 30-6-7 law. That's been around since that law came out. If you have signs up, you're not allowed to. It's $10,000 a day fine. So now that it applies to things like city council meetings, 90%, 95% of cities had those signs up for their council meetings, and they got to take them down now.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
This is why I'm glad I had you on, man. I like to learn things. I like the education. I'll admit I am, and you've probably, I know you've seen a little bit of what I do, but I'm pretty hardcore Second Amendment. I think that, cops disarming people is a bad thing, especially for simplistic things like traffic stops. I've been pretty outspoken about that lately, and I got some pretty cool pro 2A friends. Coley and Noir, I've been on his podcast 2 or 3 times now. Huge 2A advocate. I love the dude. I still make fun of him because I think he Vaselines his forearms to always make him look shiny on camera.
I've been trying to get in contact with him to let him know about Dallas City Hall, that there's a thing he could be covering and helping out with, since he's a lawyer on this side of things too.
I can make that connection. I text with him probably every few weeks.
A lot of people just don't know you can carry at these meetings yet. It's just in the last couple of months, especially last week with San Antonio having to comply and it getting covered on the news, people are starting to find out about it. Dallas actually illegally has banned all weapons from City Hall. They were banning knives.
Yeah, knives.
Yeah, it's a no-no.
What the fuck?
You can okay, so the way the statute works out for meetings, they are a prohibited place, but now there's an exception for handguns concealed or open if you have a license. So all the other stuff still applies. Like you can't bring a sword in, but you can bring a pocket knife. But we've still got a whole lot of government buildings out there that are just posting no weapons at all signage. You can't ban a sword in City Hall. You can ban a sword in the council meeting at City Hall.
Okay.
That's it. Well, I just say that's where the line's drawn, right?
I gotcha.
So when Dallas is saying you have to take your pocket knife back to the car to go pay your water bill, they're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Man, and I tell you what, with these Ray-Ban Meta glasses and all that stuff being out, you watch. This is going to be even. Do you have a pair, by the way?
Not yet.
Bro, you got to get a set. I don't have one yet either.
I body cam every time I'm out doing this stuff.
Yeah, but that one would be, you could be like undercover.
But I'm also usually carrying a silenced Beretta.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not too undercover.
A Beretta.
Yeah, that's what I usually carry is a M9A4 with a CGS can on it.
Come on now.
It's a good silencer host.
You gotta get a staccato. Come on, man.
It's a good silencer host.
Fair enough. You're gonna make fun of me. I'm a Glock guy. I like Glocks till I die. I would show mine right now, the one that I got in front of me, but I've learned that you can't do that on lives.
Yeah, well, not once you're popular. If you're a nobody, you get away with it. But once you're popular,
I'm telling you, we were not popular. Like I shown it at the last 2 minutes. I was like, and we're talking about the compensator on the end, like for the flash and all that stuff. I have a comp on mine, and we were just trying to talk about what a comp does, how it keeps the firearm level. And so I was like, here, I'll just show you. And so I pulled it up real quick. I was like, see, this is a comp. This is what it does. And that was it. Short, sweet. It was at the last 2 minutes of the freaking live. And we got a strike. We got taken off for a week. And I had no idea why. I was like, what the fuck did we do?
A lot of times when we're doing more active open carry Texas stuff, our live streams will get killed because everybody's got rifles.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, I figured for the first time, a lot of these council meetings, they can't handle something that fun. So I'm usually just a Colt M45A1 instead of bringing the big Beretta, just so they can think I'm a little. It looks better on TV.
True. Yeah, you get the Pearl Grip 1911 in there. Everybody think you're a good old boy. They'll love it. So Ario dropped $5 in the super chat. He said, "I wish the 2A was just as clear as the First Amendment, but it's not and won't be for a long time." See, that's where I kind of disagree. I feel like it is pretty clear. I feel like it's pretty clear.
They just don't want it to be.
I think people try to conflate it and make it into something that they want it to be versus what it actually is. And what it actually is was made to keep your government in check. That was the whole point, because they had nothing against the king. They weren't allowed to be armed. They weren't allowed to do a lot of stuff. So they said, well, how do we keep our government in check? We're like, let's make the Second Amendment. All right, cool. What did we do? Well, back then we had a well-regulated militia because we'd stand up and fight a motherfucker if they overstepped. And that's what they were saying. They're like, well, if they can have guns, we can have guns. If they can have a cannon, we can have a cannon. It's basically just saying that we need to be able to have the same things that the government has so we can keep them in check and realize that the people are the power. We, the people. That's the whole point, guys. I mean, that's how I see it, Matt. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, there's still a lot of guys waiting to get their letters of marque.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, the Third Amendment, I don't know that will ever happen, but you never know.
Hey, I mean, there's pirates out there. We got to go get those pirates. Give me a letter of marque.
Right?
Yep.
Wade said, it's not clear. It's infringed on.
Yeah, exactly. It's very clear how it's being infringed on.
Yeah. Andy is referring to the clarity instead of recognizing the repercussions of we the people exercising it. Absolutely. Ario said 2A, he dropped $2 in the super chat. Thank you. He said 2A almost doesn't exist in California, which, yeah, I agree with you. That's why I would never go there. Like, I have no desire. I have one really good friend in California I want to visit, but that is one of the things that's holding me back from even wanting to go out there.
I really don't want to do cop watching. I call them slave states because that's you're in chains if you can't carry. But the only way you can convince me to do it in California would be if I'm doing the taser carry, because that is legal over there. But you're gonna get arrested. Every guy who's done it has been arrested doing it. They just got let go afterwards.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we've had the discussion on here, and some of the California cops that I'm friends with, they don't agree with me when I tell them that I don't think we should be disarming people on basic traffic stops. Alan, what was your policy on that?
I completely agree with you. When I went to work for the agency I'm at, if they ran across a gun, they would automatically check the serial number. And I was like, guys, you can't do that. Like, I mean, we had that conversation. I'm like, they have the right to carry that gun, just like, I figure every vehicle we pull over in Texas has got a gun in it. And so, it's no different than the vehicle that I'm driving. They have the right to carry that gun just like I do. And, you just have to be more vigilant. And honestly, most of the people that that are carrying or choose to carry generally know how to use that thing. So, I feel a lot more safe with them than the people that are scared of guns. So,
yeah. And I kind of made a point recently, Matt, that I feel like police, when they do this, they are harming. I don't know the right word for it. They're jeopardizing lawful honesty.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I can put it. They're jeopardizing lawful honesty to the point where, just like motorcycle riders, this is a weird analogy, so stick with me, or a weird correlation. Motorcycle riders, you'll see some of these videos where they're like, well, fuck, next time I won't stop, because they pull them over for a basic stop and the cop thinks they're going to run just because it's a motorcycle. And they don't. And they pull over and like, turn the bike off, throw your key on the ground. And they come over and they're like, they're rough with them. And they're like, well, fuck, next time I won't stop. And I get it. Like, now you're punishing that person for having lawful honesty and doing what was right. And it's the same thing when it comes to the firearm. You're taking advantage of somebody saying, hey, I'm armed. I've got a gun on my right hip. Okay. I like the term, you don't touch yours, I won't touch mine. Fair? Cool.
I think duty to disclose is bullshit because the Fifth Amendment. So if you can be charged with not disclosing you're armed if you've legally got your firearm, but if you're a felon, you've got a Fifth Amendment right not to tell them about it. So you can't be charged with it if you've got the gun illegally and don't tell them about it.
That's an interesting point. I never thought of that. Yeah,
that is an interesting point.
It's the same thing with the registration. If you're illegal, if you don't register your gun in Chicago or whatever, New York, you go to jail. But if you're a felon and don't register your gun, it'd be a Fifth Amendment violation to force you to admit you have the gun, so they can't charge you with it. That's multiple cases on that already.
Dang, I give a shout out to our mods. We got Marine Blood in the house, one of our very hardworking mods. I thought I saw Nat in there too, but if I missed any of our other mods, thanks for being on, guys. Don't give them a hard time, people, because they make all of this possible. I never heard it put that way. I never thought about that the
That's what they mean when they say the criminals have more rights.
Yep.
Yeah. I have had people not disclosed, and I could see it, and I'll call, as a cop, and just be like, "Hey man, I see that you're armed," and then they're upfront about it. "Oh yeah, I got a gun right here." I'm like, "All right, cool." I'm like, "You just don't touch yours, I won't touch mine. We good?" And we're good. It's really not that hard, but people that, okay, we'll use New York. They're not used to people being able to just have guns.
Mhm.
And I can understand why they're so paranoid of the fact that people can just lawfully be armed when I talk about it as a Texas cop. Because they lose their fucking mind when I talk about it. But they think I'm
fun
the
open
asshole.
carrying down in Florida. I've done it once now. Most of the cops were okay with it. Some of them panicked, but I'm looking forward to the day of going down and doing some open carry down in Miami or something.
Because they're all over the place, aren't they? Some places it's just normal to have a gun,
Yep.
and then some places it's not at all. Because I know that
And that's why we want to normalize it. We want to make it normal everywhere.
I watched the 2A fisherman. He's always, you know him by a first fucking name, of course. I love his stuff too, because I'm a fisherman. I love that. So I actually made, and I'm going to get on my community a little bit. I asked for videos of cops harassing or dealing with people fishing, and I didn't really get any feedback. So people must not be interested in that. I'm interested in it because I see all the time somebody fishing a pond or doing something, and either a Karen, a male Karen, or the cops will come up and harass these guys for fishing. And I'm like, it's water. They have a right to the waterway. Like, you can't prevent that. And at least in most places I know of, unless it's private water, which is very rare.
Yeah, that's a whole different subject line of, we're sitting here talking about the Second Amendment and how that's twisted, but waterway is a whole nother one where it's like, you have the right to travel that waterway just like anybody else. And, you can't own that thoroughfare unless, it's some kind of special private property, private land.
Yeah.
Navigable Waters Act gets into a whole twisty lot of fun stuff.
It does. And people just don't, I've been a boater my entire life, and it's amazing how many people it's just like the Second Amendment and how that's twisted, and we want to make all these special rules, and it's like, no, we have rights. You can't do that. And,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the opposite side of that would be we need to crush the open field doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This caught my attention. Red Star Reggae, he wanted some attention. So I don't understand why you'd have sex with pigs. That's weird. But in this case, sir, if by pigs you mean cops, all I ask is, if you're going to say that, like, take me out to dinner first. I'm not that type of lady. You're not going to get me on the first date. So, and then, yes, I am a bastard because my parents never got married. So you were right. Although Red Star Rega, I do encourage you to stick around and realize that maybe not all of us are bastards, and maybe some of us are actually here trying to help fix the bastards. That's what we're trying to do. But I cannot dwell too hard on that. They're coming in groups now. 2 pigs, 1 cup. That's actually pretty funny. T-shirt idea.
Yeah, Art Crispy told me I need to talk about that.
The name?
Writes Crispy. Yeah, he's like, oh no, bring that up. They still say it's not from that.
It's not. I'll tell you where the name came from. The name came from, I am a military cop because I'm still in the Air Force. I'm security forces, and I'm a city cop, and at a municipality. So I am 2 cops, 1 donut. Now, by the 3rd episode, some other cops came up to me like, "Oh, bro, that's funny. Like 2 girls, 1 cup." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck. I didn't even think about that." So
Finn was saying it's something like the 2 bears, 1 something.
Yes. So
yeah,
that's where I got the name from, because I love Burt Kreischer and Tom Segura. And they made theirs 2 bears, 1 cave, which made sense. 2 big, burly, hairy comedians in their man cave. That made sense to me. So I was like, I'll do the same thing. Self-deprecating, donuts, cops, 2 cops, 1 donut. Too easy. I literally thought about it for about 3 seconds, and I was like, that's the name. That'll work.
Well, Crispy's a Marine, so he's used to doing dirty jokes.
So, yeah, that's That's what it came from. Oh, why is Matt not on here with us, you asshole? He said, "We love freedom. Leave us alone." Detective Matt Thornton, guys. Why he's not on here with us is a mystery to me. If he can get in the chat, you son of a bitch. Matt is my top cop. Marine Blood said 100% Matt Thornton. Love it. Love it. By the way, Matt, if you have not been on with Matt Thornton, I will get you guys connected as well. Another great cat for you to be buds with. But,
Cool.
All right,
I've
Matt.
been around a while, so I know probably about half the OG cop watchers.
Nice.
Let me just say that payout I got from Peevely, about $6,000 worth of it went to giving out flashlights to cop watchers. I've got a VIP account with Olight now.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, I get free engraving for life because I bought so much crap from them to give out to everybody.
Because I have a house full of kids right now. Yeah, what you don't know is Matt is about to retire. He's retiring in July. And the dude is all about his nonprofit, helping out troubled juveniles in his community. I think it's called Our Father's House or something like that. Matt, put it in the chat. I don't want to butcher it, but really good program that he's with. And then he's got a whole mess of kids himself. So the dude's constantly on the run, taking kids back and forth and trying to keep them off the street. So he's got a real cool story. He's got all these kids he saved, but he's got quite a few that, because of he's in the Chicagoland area, and kids that have died that have been on his program and stuff through gang activity and whatnot. So he does a really good job. But anyway, Matt, I want to get back to you.
Sure.
I want to talk about, so this incident, obviously, is that what lit the fire?
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh fuck yeah. It's not even a guess.
The day after I got that body cam, I was down at James Freeman's house showing it to him, and he posted it like the next day. And then it blew up on Facebook. So probably about 1.5 million views between all the people that posted it.
Oh my God, really? So you're boys with James Freeman too?
Yep.
Motherfucker. Okay, I'm gonna network through you. So just gonna happen, sir. That's awesome because I want to get him on here now too. Okay.
He kind of retired, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. With the stuff that's going on over at him personally right now, I don't know if he's coming back or not. But he retired.
Got some shit going on?
A couple felony charges, running from the cops.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole thing going on over there right now.
Mind.
He just got out of jail Thursday.
Okay.
Paid the bond, but he killed his channel about 4 months ago. So I don't know if he's ever coming back or not once this is all done.
I didn't know any of that, so I'm glad you told me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry for bringing it up, y'all. Okay, so you get it out there, you get all these views, and like you said, it was your first time doing this. So what I try to get people think that every cop watcher, I'm going to start using that term, by the way. I never thought of it that way. So I'm going to start saying cop watcher. Every cop watcher that goes out there, they think that your job and what you're trying to do is go out and personally just fuck with people to get them to react. And I've watched your stuff, so that's why I had you on here, because your style is, to me, is normal. Like you're not like the people's guy Eli. I can't stand the way he does his stuff. He's just an asshole.
There's a lot of guys that are.
Yeah, it's not me. I can't purposely be mean to people. I'm a very optimistic, happy guy. So when I see people go out and intentionally just try to be a dick, I'm like, it doesn't resonate with me at all. That's why I like Long Island Audit. That's why I like San Joaquin. Like, they're not a dick until you're a dick to them. And
I helped Sean get started, giving him some advice way back when, me and Philip Turner, when he was first getting started.
Yeah, and I think he does it very respectfully now.
Yeah.
So, and it's a learning curve. So for you, that's kind of what I'm getting at. When you first started, what was your intent? What did you want to do? How did you want to do it?
I'd been watching everybody else do it for a couple years, got interested. I'm a constitutional conservative as my base. I really got interested when Border Patrol started arresting people for not wanting to talk to them at checkpoints, and arresting that professor out at the McDonald Observatory out in West Texas. That's where I got started watching all this stuff, was watching Border Patrol tase people for not wanting to answer questions at a checkpoint. So it came out from there, where it's just got into the civil rights side of thing. I give a damn about the Constitution. And like I said, when I recorded the cop in Peevely, that was just happenstance. I had just shut down and I saw a cop pull somebody over, and I was like, I'm going to record for the first time. I'm going to do it live on YouTube just in case, because I'm by myself and I don't have any backup equipment or
No
anything.
witnesses.
It's my first time doing it. Yeah, no witnesses. And it just went from there. And then when he came up with the bullshit saying I might have had a gun and I was pointing a laser at him or something, I'm like, well, hell, I'm just going to go ahead and open carry every time I record one of you guys and short circuit that right off the bat.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. And so it's got to be kind of difficult for you as a truck driver, going state to state and having to deal with the different laws in each state you got to go to.
Well, yeah, some laws. Some, yeah.
I mean,
you just don't flaunt anything and don't do anything stupid.
right.
You know that almost every truck driver out there's got something on them, because we don't want to be the next guy at an LA riot pulled out of their truck,
Yeah.
or the next trucker at a rest stop in Montana that's murdered for a gang initiation.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. How long have you been truck driving?
16 years now.
Okay. Now, do you got like a sleeper bed, all that good stuff?
Oh yeah, full truck.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, so people, I had an uncle that was a truck driver, so I learned a lot about it when I was a kid, and fucking bug just bit my leg. I was like, what is that? I got a handful of blood. Something bit me pretty good. I've been having a rough go today. The video I put out, I stepped in dog shit while I was recording. Yeah. I left it on the video too. After I edited it, I was like, I'm gonna leave it. People need to know the struggle.
That's lucky over in Asia.
Is it?
Think so.
I think so. We're just throwing shit out there. I love it. Okay. So the point I'm getting at is, one, your truck is your home. It's not just a second office. It is an actual dwelling. So how does that work when you're getting pulled over sometimes? Like, is that an argument to be made?
Yes. Roughly, if you've got the curtains pulled on the back, they're not allowed to look in the back. But it's different. If we're talking about way station DOT stops, that's administrative. They don't have a lawful authority to go searching all over your truck without finding something first.
Okay.
So they can look in the front because they need to check your gauges and stuff during the inspection. But rooting around in the back and looking through stuff and opening stuff up, they can't do that unless you've gotten pulled over for something else, like drunk driving. Well, then you're going to jail and your stuff's getting impounded. So whatever you got in there is coming out.
Gotcha. We've had Second Amendment auditors, which is kind of that's the first time I ever heard auditors was with 2A guys.
I would say my difference in the definitions would be cop watchers are guys who are going out there looking for incidents and testing the recording out in public normally. Auditors are the guys that are going into places or into doing things to check the response.
Gotcha.
So when I'm going into a city hall, I'm considering that one to be an audit. When I'm out on the street following what's on the scanner, I consider that cop watching.
Gotcha. Okay. So I've run into them on duty, and no issues. We had zero issues. We didn't even make contact. I'm like, I looked from a distance. I'm like, it's a long rifle. What the fuck do I care? Like, at the time, that was you could do that. They weren't like, concealed carrying pistols or anything and trying to like brandish them or any of the weird little rules that people will try to use to get cops' attention. It was just long rifles. It was what I consider old school 2A carry. And so
a lot of those guys don't think of themselves as auditors. They just open carry.
Yeah.
The only place I don't open carry in Texas is when I'm shopping at HEB. That's pretty much it.
Why that one? Why that?
No,
one?
they got the OT7 signs posted.
Yeah. Okay. Dang, we just talked about HEB too. That's weird. That's your favorite
They
place?
don't like guns, but they know if they banned concealed carry, they'd lose like a third of their customers. So they just don't allow they just don't allow open carry.
Okay. Now, okay, Matt, let's have a personal discussion.
Sure.
I think open carry's stupid. I think you're dumb if you open carry. The only time I think you should open carry is if you're out hunting on a trail, on your ranch, in a combat zone. That's when I think, because time is the essence. Shit can go down at the drop of a hat. Like, it makes sense to open carry in those positions, and you don't have a lot of people around you. But when I get into a city environment, I don't want anybody to know I got a gun. I want them guessing if I have one, but I don't want them knowing. I would prefer people conceal carry. What's your thoughts?
The Constitution says get fucked.
It does.
I was saying that's the baseline we start from. It doesn't matter what your opinion is on it. But as far as arguing it out, pros and cons, for me, it's an activism thing. If you got to normalize, like we were talking about earlier, you got to normalize firearms and carry. So if everybody concealed carries, you can still lose those rights. If nobody ever carries a long rifle anywhere, you're going to lose that right. You practically have in most of the country. I don't know how we're going to go in front of the Supreme Court can argue. Well, they can't. There's a reason the Supreme Court's never taken an open carry case, because the only thing they can rule is that long arms can only be open carried. So in all 50 states and all public places, you can carry a rifle, because that's the only way you can comply with the Constitution. It's why they won't take that case, because they either have to rule that way or destroy the Second Amendment.
Yeah. I guess I should have phrased it before.
I
don't mean constitutionally. I'm with you. They should be able
on
to
the opinion
carry.
side.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for fat guys to conceal carry big guns.
All right, fair enough. I get it. So
unless you're living up north and wearing overcoats, it's something that's got enough rounds in it, enough power to it. It's a pain to conceal carry.
Okay.
And also worthy concealed carry guns that can do the job that needs to be done are pretty new. Okay. I mean, we've only had slimline 9s for 10 years, 15 years at the most, that were actually reliable and still had enough rounds in them to be worth concealed carrying. So it's a pretty new innovation, being able to conceal carry a handgun. That's why you go back 150 years, open carry was the normal thing, because concealed carrying a flintlock, you can only do that if you're wearing an overcoat.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to play a little detective game that I used in investigation stuff. Okay. And I'm not doing this to trick you, but I'm using this to get your true feelings on something. Okay. All right. What's your favorite color?
Green.
Okay. I don't want you to think about these. I just want you to go off the cuff. Okay. What's your favorite state?
Texas.
Okay. Winter states or cold state, or winter states or summer states?
In between, actually, is my preference.
Okay. Hiking or skiing?
Hiking.
Okay. 9mm or 45?
Both.
Oh, damn it. I was trying to get him. All right. 9mm for me. I'm a 9mm guy. I just want to see what
I like both.
Yeah.
I told you, the Beretta's the 9mm that I carry when I'm doing the silencer. The rest of the time I've got my Colt on me it's my barbecue gun. So for style, I go with the barbecue gun 1911. If I'm going for showing off activism side of things, I go with the 9mm with a can on it.
The scary looking gun.
Oh God, that's the only time I've had felony charges, was some crazy lady saying the ninja assassin's here to come kill her neighbor for an insurance claim scheme.
You got felony charges?
Oh, you never looked at the Livingston stuff?
No.
Oh yeah, they charged us with felony organized crime for recording the police. 4 of us.
How far did that
go? Judge quashed it. They forgot that organized crime is an enhancer and not an original.
Yes, that's very true.
So they brought the charges back and indicted us again with felony assault on a peace officer as the base charge, and because we scared them to death with our cameras. They thought they were under a terrorist
You
attack.
probably had assault cameras.
And, no, that's what they argued. And then the judge quashed the indictment again. But yeah, that was $100,000 bonds on us. My friend spent a month in jail on that. The lawsuit's still going on it. This happened 3 years ago in Livingston.
Okay, let that be a lesson to all of you guys that think you have the balls to do this stuff. You have to be committed. Because
and the first go around, the judge ruled on the qualified immunity, saying that we got what we deserved. So it doesn't matter that the cops conspired and admitted to all these crimes and falsely charging us with all this stuff because we got what we deserved. The district judge, federal.
What the? But he's the one that let you guys go?
No, for the lawsuit, not the criminal side of things. The criminal judge did a damn good job. They had their municipal judge, their magistrate, just sign off on all this bullshit. That was immediately, as soon as it saw a real judge was killed. But that took a month for that judge to see that and start killing it. But yeah, on the civil side, we're probably going to be appealing the Fifth Circuit.
Damn. Oklahoma Audits is Oklahoma Outlaw Audits is saying, "What's up, HBOMATT?"
Yep. They also charged all of us with false 911 because the way the day started was I walked into the friend's house over there with that Beretta on my side, and crazy meth head neighbor lady called the cops saying that, I'm not kidding, the 911 call is he's an hired assassin here to kill her. She sent her kids away for the weekend, I know, and she's probably going to have him kill her so they can claim insurance so her kids can live okay after she's gone. Nuts.
What?
And when the cops showed up 10 deep, we told them to kick rocks. They told me they're going to tow my car and just anything they could think of to try to get me to step outside so they could mess with me and ID me.
Yeah.
We told them to leave. And then later that night, we go out cop watching and they pull us over and we tell them to kick rocks again. They start going, fail to ID. We're going to arrest you, and then change their minds.
Fail to ID is after you've been arrested.
Yeah, that video went viral. So like the police chief got to watch all the backlash from the video going viral overnight and ordered his cops to file charges against us for whatever we could think of. Damn. And that's what they came up with, was they charged me with swatting myself. Literally in the charges it says he expected a police response by open carrying. So that's swatting myself. That's trying to cause a 911 response.
What?
In Texas, the cop said merely open carrying was intended to induce an illegal response, so I swatted myself.
Wow. That's incredible.
And then the second go around, the assault on a peace officer, we made them fear for their lives by driving around the police station recording. At deposition, the cop who did the detention and started all this crap said that he saw we had Laredo plates. He ran the plates on the car and it was from Laredo because this guy I was rolling with, he's from Laredo. Mm-hmm. He said he thought we were a cartel hit squad there to murder him because he used to do drug work 20 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what bothers me, Matt? Let me cut you off real quick. You know what bothers me about this from a cop perspective? I know all of the stuff that's going through my head in the background of like, so when they pulled you over after going to the house and trying to get you to come outside, had I been on your defense team, I would have been like, you need to subpoena their cell phones because I guarantee they were texting back and forth of how they were going to get you later.
Yep. Well, no, what they in the 911 charge, they substantiated it by saying we were recording when they knocked on the door, so that's how we had it. They knew we had it all planned out. That when 10 cops pull out outside and we see them through the windows, when they knock on the door and we open it, we had cameras going. That was the proof that we were trying to induce a response.
No, I get that, but I'm saying later on when they pulled you over, like there's things going through my head where I'm just like, as a cop, you know, sitting here thinking of the ways that they got you. I'm like, well, your attorney may not necessarily have thought of some of this stuff, but Like I know when we've been looking for targets, like normally it'd be like, hey, I swung by such and such houses earlier. I didn't see any cars in the driveway. Like we'll go look for them again later on tonight. Like those text messages going back and forth. And if that's happening while they're on duty, guess what? Now your phone is subject to being subpoenaed.
Yep.
So,
we've got a recorded call between the police chiefs, that town and the other town we were dealing with, where they conspired to, he was so happy he got felony charges because it was going to take our guns away. And I'm not going to have these people open carrying near my police officers. Yeah, we got that recorded.
what the fuck? I can only imagine, like, assuming you had a good judge, I can just see the judge's face. Like
he ignored everything. In the Fifth Circuit, especially in Texas, district judges will lie on the stand, lie in their reports to protect cops. It's happened to plenty of us. They'll ignore the reports. They will ignore deposition testimony where the officers admit to criminal conspiracy of rights straight up.
Yeah.
And they'll ignore that, just not even include it in their arguments, act like it never happened and they never saw it.
Jesus. Okay.
Yep. It's a hard climb here in Texas.
Let me.
But the fun thing was during the deposition. So my lawyer asked the guy, he plays the body cam and the dash cam of them walking up to our car. He's like, okay, so you thought these were cartel hitmen out there to murder you, and you were positioning yourself and pulled over in the exact same spot in case there was a gunfight and you didn't want to have anybody in the background. So why did you immediately walk up to the car without backup and place your gun hand on the roof of the car and lean in and start talking all nice when you were expecting an imminent gunfight?
That's from the judge?
No, that's from my lawyer during deposition.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. He's talking about he thinks he's walking into a death funnel, a fatal funnel.
Right.
And the first thing he does walking up to the car is not have his hand near his gun. He immediately just puts his hand up on top of the roof and leans in and starts chatting.
What the fuck?
Yeah, totally in fear for his life.
Yeah.
Well, did he have body camera on too? Like,
yes.
So he could record, and it's not, a concern for your safety, but it's a concern for their safety if you're recording.
Well, no, for us on the recording, that's how they got organized crime. We're making money on YouTube. So getting a reaction from police is organized crime because we're recording police to get a reaction to make money. So it's organized.
They were organized together and videoing all of it.
Insane.
Like the
That's
whole
insane.
thing.
It's why the charges got quashed.
You didn't even call on yourself. Like,
no,
all of this stuff. Like I could see, okay, well, did you call on yourself? Like because I've seen auditors do that.
When we went in for bail reduction for the two that were still in jail, the assistant DA came to the bail hearing and said, I was walking around the neighborhood waving an AR-15 around to try to convince the judge that he shouldn't reduce the bond on the other two people.
What the fuck?
Yeah. All I did was get some groceries out the back of my car trunk and walk back inside. That's all I did. The assistant DA
slung?
No, it was the Beretta. So it was in the holster.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So no, the assistant DA during their bond reduction hearing told the judge that I was walking around the neighborhood waving an AR-15 at people.
Oh. Good.
Try to say, well, they knew and planned all this and it's his fault and they should have known better. So that's why they should keep this $100,000 bond, because it was all planned out, because we went out there waving an AR-15 around.
I would just love to see your lawyer. So you mean to tell me my steadily employed, zero criminal background, known to a auditor client decided to go rogue and just fucking throw his gun around and throw it all to the wayside? You tell me that's what he did?
We never got to argue that on the civil side because the judges just threw it out saying we were looking for trouble and we got what we deserved.
And you have legal speak. You have no recourse to that?
Oh, no. We got to appeal it. I was saying for most district judges in Texas, that's what you get.
That's the first stop, right?
That 90% of the time when you're dealing with some First, Second Amendment auditor, cop watch, or anything like that, that's what we get in Texas now 90% of the time at the district level.
Now, is this small city stuff or is this like a large city?
Yeah. Livingston, mid-city, Corrigan, small. But Livingston is the county seat for the county. But we're still talking like 10,000, 15,000 people, not not city.
Yeah, so it's pretty small.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was curious. Now, Matt, part of what I like to do here is I like to try to at least think that I can help improve policing because obviously we have problems. I think we do a lot of good stuff. I think there's a lot of cool stuff. I share good stuff all the time with cops out there doing good work. But what I've learned, especially doing this podcast, is that we fuck up all the time. I mean, way more than what you guys, what we're taught as cops that we fuck up.
I still see a cop video every month in Texas where they don't remember 3802.
So I would love to know from your perspective, and you've been doing this for 6 years, 7 years?
Peevely was 2019.
Okay, so you've been doing this a minute. And your research, you were smart. You did some research for like 3 years before you decided to pick up a camera.
You pretty much the best thing you can do is watch what everybody does wrong, so you know what not to do.
Yeah, yeah. What's crazy is you can watch people do the perfect thing, and they still get jacked up.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah, we did watch. Oh, sorry, Mr. Billfold got a comment up there. I sent him some of this Matt stuff back when he was arrested, when the arrest happened, but Matt was not speaking publicly about it. All those Texas issues Matt and our guy are talking about were going on. Gotcha. So damn it, clicked it again. The point that I'm getting to is like we watched a kid go into a post office, and he it was like his first audit. And he just murdered it, like in a good way, guys.
I know the video you're talking about. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I think that was in Texas, if I can remember correctly. But he did perfect, and he got jacked with. So, you can do it all right and still get messed with. And we all pitched a fit on here because we watched it on the live stream, and we were irritated.
If you're a FPC member, you can carry in the post office now in Texas.
See, so. The point I'm getting to, Matt, in your stream of doing all of this, where are cops screwing up the most, like training wise? What do you think? Where do you think they need to fix this issue at? How far back?
No, well, one, it's not something for them to fix. It's for us. It's get rid of qualified immunity effectively.
Okay.
Because there's no responsibility. So no matter what you do on the training side, if people aren't being held accountable, there's no incentive for them to pay attention to it. So you have to give an incentive to learn in the first place. So, but let's say that's not on you guys' side. That's on our guys' side to force the issue on that. So should you have to deal with a lawsuit every time you do a lawful act? No. But should ignorance of the law be an excuse for cops anymore? I also don't think that's a thing anymore.
And that's where I'll argue and say we lose qualified immunity the second that we screw up, and that's where on the headspace of lots of law enforcement would not be doing the job if we're, I can't jeopardize my family's future because something happens and we're acting within the law and we get sued and we lose everything. I don't think that's fair to my family. But on the other side,
it doesn't ever happen though, because you get indemnified by the city and 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Well, I will also tell you though, if you go and screw up, lots of these officers don't have legal representation, things like that, because they feel like the city is going to support them, things like that. But if you screw up, the city will drop you in a heartbeat. Like they will,
it just depends on where you're at. And
correct.
To what
Matt's saying, if you do it wrong, they're not going to have your back. But if you're intentionally doing it wrong, that's what I'm saying is the officers that are out there doing bad things. I think it's no different than people that are out there doing the bad things. You have people that are bad postmasters, you have people that are bad cops, you have people that are bad engineers, but the majority, I think people try to do good. And, that's where I go with qualified immunity is, I feel like we should support those that are fighting for our freedoms and there to be there for us on our worst days. Now, does that mean they get a get out of jail free card? Absolutely not. They should be held accountable. They should have to do the right thing, those type of things. And so somewhere in that, I feel like we have to meet in the middle.
But I'm gonna push back against you, Alan, because I kind of see what Matt's saying about the indemnification is these people lose their qualified immunity in the moment that it doesn't show that it's related to any prior law. Nothing happens because these judges won't.
They keep the qualified immunity.
They won't create new law. And so I think I kind of understand where Matt's coming from, where he says it's on their side because these fucking courts are not holding the cops that do need to be held accountable. They're not holding them accountable because they don't want to make a ruling. They don't want to make precedents.
For the Supreme Court to finally rule that you didn't need a preceding case to take away qualified immunity took a guy being tortured to death in his jail cell, covered in shit and cold iceboxed and starved and not checked on for like 4 days straight. It took that much for them to do the first time saying, okay, if you commit a war crime, you don't have to have a precedential case to take away qualified immunity. That's just ridiculous.
And that's where I'm with you. And I'm kind of in the middle. I'm qualified immunity is fucked up and it needs to be fixed.
Correct.
But I do think if you get rid of it completely, then we're going to have trouble getting qualified cops.
I don't think it's a hard job to draw a bright line between honest mistakes and willful ignorance and purposeful acts. It's not that hard to draw a common sense line that you can throw in front of a jury and they can say it's on this side of the line, it's that on this line of the line. We're nowhere near that right now. Nowhere near that.
Right.
I agree. I don't disagree with you.
With the open carry CJ Grisham case in Texas, the Fifth Circuit judges ruled that the cops could detain somebody for open carrying if somebody reported on 911. Not reported a crime, just literally reported the fact that you're open carrying, then the cops get qualified immunity when they illegally detain you and then tase you and almost kill you. They get qualified immunity. Now, you're not going to, your criminal charges aren't going to count. They said that, oh yeah, you didn't commit a crime, so the charges won't stick. But the cops should also get QI. Just because somebody on called 911 and said the mere fact you existed out on a public street with a rifle should give them QI.
Cops use that just to ID people these days. Oh, I was called here, so you got ID.
Well, Dallas illegally arrested me for jaywalking to get my ID.
Oh my God.
That's how the Dallas case started.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
It's so open and shut, dude. I'm not worried about it.
Okay, cool. Then
it's really, really hard to jaywalk in Texas.
Yeah, it sure as shit is. So let's go down. Okay, tell me, set the tone for me, sir. It was a beautiful stormy day. What was it? What were you doing? Beautiful
day in Dallas. I had just done my audit on City Hall and gave them their notice for having illegal signage up for the council meeting. And like I told you before, they had illegal no knife signs set up for the whole building.
So
made me take my I carry in my Beretta, but they made me take my pocket knife back to my car. That's what Dallas City Hall did.
Was this the cops that told you this? Was this like the deputies?
Yes.
The city cops? What was this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That video is live on my channel if you want to go watch it.
Oh my God. Okay. So hold on before we go any farther. And did you point this out? Did you I have a gun?
Yes.
I have a gun, but I have to take the knife back. So you pointed that out.
Yes. I told them it was illegal.
What the fuck?
We got state preemption on knife laws and gun laws in Texas. And here's the fun thing Texas cops and security guards don't know. That preemption statute on weapons for lower municipal governments, counties, everything like that, it says that any ordinance or regulation that violates the preemption law is void on its face. And also any action taken to enforce them is void. That means as a police officer, if you try to arrest somebody for carrying a pocket knife in City Hall, you are not acting as a peace officer.
What?
Your enforcement action in violation of state preemption law is void the moment you do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now you'd have to find a DA willing to criminally charge you for everything you just did, which
Interesting.
almost never happens in Texas.
Yeah.
But yeah, the preemption statute doesn't say the regulation's void. It says the enforcement action taken to enforce it is also void the moment it happens. So when you're trying to enforce an unlawful weapons regulation or policy in city hall or county, whatever, you're not acting as a peace officer in that moment. You're just committing an assault.
What?
But you got to find somebody who's willing to prosecute the cop for that, and that just doesn't happen in Texas.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it also means your qualified immunity's just shot
Right.
on the civil side of things for that too,
It should be.
because it's in state statute that your actions were unlawful.
Yeah.
I won't get into the whole resisting arrest thing because that's a whole nother ball game.
Wait,
as
they
far as
said-
statutes
they
go.
said-
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. I just
Gotcha.
we'll talk for half an hour if we get into that.
Gotcha.
Long Elk or whatever that old case is.
We'll probably have the same opinion you do on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's taken way too far. So
So after I got out of there, I figured if Dallas City Hall's screwing up this bad, most Dallas government buildings are probably screwing up this bad. So I drove 2 miles away down to police headquarters to go see what kind of signs they had up in their lobby. And they had illegal signage up. So you could walk through the front door, okay, but to actually get into the police department, no weapons at all, no nothing. There is a Texas law saying that they can restrict weapons, handguns, from the secured areas of a police station if they offer lockboxes, but that's only the non-public areas. So what Dallas PD did was declare the entire department secured area, including the museum that's open to the public inside, and put up their metal detectors and lockboxes and say you can't step foot past the front door with any kind of weapon because it's a police department. That's not how the state law works in Texas.
Yeah.
So you can have your interview rooms and your meeting room and the detention area as the non-public secured area, but the records office and public interview rooms, the property room, all that stuff, no, you can't ban weapons of any kind. The same as every other government building in Texas, pretty much. You can't ban weapons. So I just walked in to find out, told them what they're doing is not right and that I'd be taking it up, and walked out. Got back to my car. About 3 minutes later, some cop, a female cop, comes walking out trying to act not suspicious with a body cam in her hand held at the waist pointing my way, and starts walking down the street recording me and then trying to go behind my car. And I'm like, oh God. She's like trying to play it off as like, I'm not looking at you. So I get out and say, hey, can I help you? And she illegally detains me. Says, yeah. I ask from detain. She says no.
Was she
I said,
in
okay,
uniform?
well, oh yeah.
Okay.
I was like, all right, well, you have a nice day. I'm leaving. She says, no. I'm like, am I detained? She says, no. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get my car. Don't get in your car. I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm gonna make sure that you're okay to have that on you, and points at my gun.
Oh.
And yeah, I moved to the sidewalk. I literally say, yeah, I'm gonna go move to the sidewalk so you don't say something stupid like pedestrian or roadway for me standing here next to my car.
Right. Obstruction of roadway. That's Class B.
Yep. So I move over to the sidewalk, and a lieutenant or somebody comes around and says, I'm not detained anymore, but now there's a dozen cops there. So I decided I'm going to stay, because if I try to leave, they're probably going to do something stupid still, or just follow me and pull me over later. They go back and forth for a while, and one big asshole cop shows up and just takes over, sergeant, and decides after talking to her that I'm going to be. No. He looks nothing like you.
I'm just fucking with you.
But he decides that they saw me jaywalking, so when I won't ID, I'm going to be arrested for jaywalking. Yeah, I didn't jaywalk. So you literally you can't jaywalk in the spot I jaywalked unless you ran in front of a car. It's like it's all rolled into that one statute.
Yeah.
So the place I crossed, the only way I could commit the crime of pedestrian on the roadway is if I jumped in front of a car.
Wow. Yeah. So
But
there's
it's crazy.
I'm curious because there's two things they can get you on. One is obstruction of roadway, which is when you walk out into the definition of what you're talking about. A car literally has to be your behavior and your physical being have to cause a car to do something different in the roadway is obstruction of roadway. And then there is I got you, Alan. And then there's jaywalking, which is basically walking in a place other than where a crosswalk's provided. And that only counts, and this is where people fuck this up. Cops, I'll tell you, this is where cops fuck this up all the time. It has to be between two road signals.
Yep. Or in the downtown business district, which was 2 miles away.
Right. So that cops screw that one up a lot. And me as a sergeant, that's my job. I've had to tell guys like, no, like, I understand what you're doing. It's a local dope dealer and you're trying to fucking get him, but you don't have it.
He said that she saw you jaywalk. And I said, no, she didn't. I was already in my car before she even came out of the office. And well, you didn't use that crosswalk. I'm like, do I have to? No.
Nope.
There's one crosswalk at the intersection out in front of the police department, but the street on that street goes for another mile before it dead ends without a single other signal on it.
Really?
Yeah. He did it just to get me. He even said, you wanted to be a smartass and not give ID. As I asked him, why are you doing this? Why, if you're going to pull this bullshit, why is it not just decide and release?
Yeah.
And he says, you wanted to be a smartass about not giving an ID. Well, today you're going to learn the law. You're going to jail.
So there's retaliation. That's what he was really trying to do.
And then at that point,
harassment.
they, I don't have the paperwork on my body for the tax stamp for the silencer. They start really wanting to dig for it. I'm like, yeah, it might be in my car, but I mean, obviously I can't go get it for you right now. I'm in handcuffs. Yeah. And, oh no, the copy you've got in your phone is not good enough. So he turns around and says, search the car. We're going to tow it. They towed my car for pedestrian in the roadway.
Wow.
And then the detective who showed up later wanting to get all friendly and talk about my tax stamps, went and did a second search of my car and pulled my paperwork out of my backpack and started looking through it. You ever heard of an inventory on a car where you can go through the pockets of a backpack and start unfolding paperwork to search through all the paperwork?
Nope. The only thing that you're allowed to do for an inventory is that you're responsible for any expensive items or stuff like that because you got a liability. So what you're supposed to do is you just take the backpack and that gets set to the side. You're not allowed to go in it and start searching through it by any means.
No, we've got it all on camera. I watched him do it. While I was sitting in the back of the patrol car, I watched him go do a second search of my car to try to find my tax stamp paperwork because they were like, oh, we're so screwed. We got to find something to get this guy on. So maybe he really doesn't have a tax stamp.
Especially when they're getting you for a pedestrian crime. Now, all of a sudden, the vehicle's in play. How does that work?
Oh, because it's parked on the road, and maybe by the time I get out of jail, the parking meter would have run out. So we're just going to tow it because the parking meter might run out before you get back out of jail.
Maybe, but that's...
Yeah, fun thing is the car parked in front of me had a red meter when I pulled up to that spot. They didn't tow that car.
Oh,
yeah, just
Can't
mine.
you just pay the fines for like I don't know. Like
I think they usually give a parking ticket
has,
first,
like
before they tow it.
Like, does it not just keep cycling, and so now you owe a certain amount of money?
No, I'm just saying, like if you're parked at a meter, a coin meter or whatever, usually they give you a ticket before they tow it.
Right. Yeah. That's what I like. Wouldn't that ticket just start adding money to the dial? Like, if you park there for a whole day, now you owe.
No, they just give you the ticket and expect, and then if you some point afterwards, 6 hours later, a day later, and it's still sitting there, they tow it.
Yes, normally they got to sticker the car, like So what I would say, like again, I would love to be a helper for an attorney that defends stuff like this because. What I would say is like, okay, now I want to pull up the history of what you've done for meter parking in the past. What has been your pattern?
The only thing I'm going to need for retaliation on this is the vehicle next to me had a red tag on it that hadn't been paid before I even.
I mean,
showed up.
that absolutely enhances exactly what we're talking about. But if this guy's got a history that every time he dealt with a spoiled meter, that he ticketed it, but you of all people, he did this to, like that.
Fun thing
stands out.
was, he said search the car, not inventory the car, and he said that first. Search the car.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna tow it.
Yeah.
He said that after I wouldn't give him the tax stamp paperwork.
Wow.
That was his response. Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest. I've said search the car, not intending search. I meant inventory. So I'll own that. I've made that mistake before, but it wasn't in lieu of something controversial. It was like you could tell what the context was, what I meant.
The context was 5 seconds before I said, I'm not I'm not giving you my paperwork because it's in my car and I'm not allowing you to search my car. And he says, okay, we're searching the car.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's to my point. Context absolutely matters. So I didn't want to come across holier than thou and act like I never said search versus inventory, because I fucked that up. I have said that because let's be honest, that's what you're doing. You are searching, but you're searching for a different reason.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is why unfolding the paperwork to go through 5 pages worth of tax stamps, it's pretty obvious you're not doing a search.
Yeah.
But what I was telling you before the show, what I learned after they did this and took the gun off of me, and then also the gun I had in the car, was that every firearm that goes through Dallas Property Room goes through ballistics testing, and they have a 3-month backlog on that right now. So I should expect to get my guns back in 3 months. I still don't have them back.
I was gonna say, so you don't even have your guns?
Nope. This was April 1st. April Fool's Day. Yeah.
Oh. So I'll make this argument. I think in lieu of so you don't have any criminal charges, correct?
Oh no, that's pedestrian in the roadway. The prosecutor hasn't dropped it yet.
Oh, okay. So they're still holding that. Okay.
But the guns aren't on hold for the charge. They're just on hold because they haven't been processed yet.
That's so crazy. I haven't we were talking. So folks, like behind the scenes, what we were talking about is the process of once you take a gun to the property room, what happens with it afterwards. For where I'm at, as far as I know, it just sits in the property room till that person comes and gets it, because it was taken. Obviously, you can't take a gun with you into the jail, and they're not going to process a gun in the jail. That's just not going to happen. So it goes to the property room. When he gets out, he goes and grabs his shit. What it appears to be with where he went and several places that he's talked. I mean, shit, there's a lot of places that do what he's talking about. They do a fucking ballistics test on your gun. I would argue that is no different than me getting your cell phone and going inside of it. Yep. That to me is a complete invasion of privacy. In nobody's business, you should at the bare minimum have a search warrant for it. So I want to go on the record. I think you should have to have a search warrant if you're going to run a ballistics test on somebody's firearm.
So that's the lawsuit we filed. Is exactly what it's saying. We're going to go for an emergency injunction against Dallas.
Damn. And now your gun's probably going to get stuck in the queue for 6 more months.
It might. If it does, it is going to be what it is. We're going to count every day against them. But if this ends up changing the law around the country and protecting people's Fourth Amendment rights a little bit better, I'll take the hit for that.
Do you need a gun to borrow? I got one.
No, I'm good. That $50K bought a lot of guns.
I bet it did. I love it.
Yeah. But what we're doing on that is just we're going to push it as far as we can. Yeah. And it's a couple other cities do the same kind of thing where it's also just punishment. You know, they whenever they get a gun, they hate guns, Austin, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they're going to just hold on to your gun for as long as possible. They also say they're running their own background check that takes a couple extra weeks on everything. So, I don't know anything in Texas state statute that allows a municipal government to do a background check. There's no forum or ability to do that through any Texas government system. It's just NICS and the standard what you run through the feds is the only thing you got to run off of. So what background check are you doing authorized by state statute?
Other than a criminal background check, I don't know.
I don't know of any state law authorizing some kind of in-depth background check for just getting your guns back or purchasing a gun at a gun store.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, you're right. I thought you were talking. I'm just talking on the cop side. Like the best I can do is a criminal investigation.
Yeah.
Do a
yeah.
criminal
Listen,
background check.
other states have other systems, but Texas does not. Texas does not have its own background system for
So
guns.
I'm going to push a little bit, and this is going to go against the cops. I'm going to push against our people, my people. This is a systemic issue. This isn't just a training issue. This is systemic. Like the Second Amendment isn't new. This isn't, we're not talking about a First Amendment auditor, which is, don't get me wrong, the First Amendment's been around a long time, but people with video cameras and technology changing and stuff like that, I get where cops were ignorant about it at the beginning. I get it. I'll be fair. I understand where that ignorance came from, because I'll be honest, had I not run across First Amendment auditor videos, I might have been the same cop going like, I don't think you're allowed to do that. That doesn't seem right. I'm not sure where it's at in the law, but stay right there. I might have been that cop. If I'm gonna be honest, like when I was a rookie, like a young cop, I might have been that guy. Luckily I wasn't. And luckily people didn't have cell phones that they could record everywhere. And by that time I started to learn this stuff, but carrying a firearm is not new. Guns haven't really changed. They look cooler. I think they shoot more accurate, but still a trigger, still a firearm. It's still a cartridge. Like everything's the same. Nothing's really changed. Flintlock, like that's gone away. The black powder, that's gone away. Like nothing's really changed. So my point that I'm getting to, Matt, is that how are we trying to circumvent the system and do such end arounds to get somebody like you doing? Honestly, I don't even think you were doing anything at that time. You weren't even in the mode yet, right? You were just walking.
No.
Yeah, you weren't even in the mode yet. So for a guy that was doing nothing but what has been done since the dawn of this country, I don't understand how that's a training issue. That's not a training issue. That's a systemic issue. It's a cultural issue in that department. And what it sounds like from your experience and why you do what you do, it's not just that place. It's a lot of places.
It's why we have to do this. So like one of the best examples I've got from doing open carry Texas stuff, down in San Antonio is where most of the activism happened back 10 years ago, right? So we had a guy named Mike who was a juggalo, brown skin, lots of tats.
Yes. So for those that don't, we got to explain what a juggalo. I'm from Michigan, so I'm a Faygo drinking juggalo myself. I didn't wear the makeup. Okay, let me go back. For those that don't know what he's talking about, a juggalo is an Insane Clown Posse fan. I grew up in Michigan, so you couldn't get away from Insane Clown Posse. My favorite song was called Bugs on My Nugs. I thought it was fucking hilarious. So I'm a first generation because I was their audience when they first came out. I thought they were funny. It was a different, gangster rap was real big. These guys weren't singing gangster rap. They were singing funny shit, in my opinion. And then this whole new generation came out and they became juggalos and like juggalettes and whatever they call themselves. So anyway, go ahead, Matt.
So what we did was have a white guy with a rifle open carry around a neighborhood or a park in one of the suburbs of San Antonio, do that for about 20 minutes and nothing would happen. And then we'd have Mike, his YouTube was Southside Slacker, do the exact same thing, the exact same walk. And 2 minutes later, there'd be a dozen cops showing up with their rifles out, putting him down at gunpoint.
Oh shit!
Happened. They did it about 3 or 4 times.
No shit. Oh, look at Wade.
And,
Wade
yep.
knew. Wade's
Yep.
like ICP. That's what's
Yep.
up.
And that is how one of the ways we forced change culturally in the San Antonio PD and the suburbs around there on open carry was just ridiculing them and showing the difference. If you're a white guy carrying a rifle in Texas, you're okay. If you're not a white guy in Texas open carrying, they might just shoot you first and ask questions later.
Yeah.
And did that 3 or 4 times, and then it stopped happening.
Yeah. Sorry.
Or at least people probably still made the phone calls, but the cops didn't show up a dozen deep, disarming us with their rifles out and saying we're going to go to jail if we don't ID.
Wow.
They at least stopped doing that.
Yeah, we have hit several times on here about the whole ID stuff. Like it drives me insane when I hear
The-
cops wanting
The
ID.
big thing with us, everybody pushing open carry across the whole country. Yeah, I know you know this. The go-to for every cop. What was the go-to for every cop almost out there in the whole country to get ID from somebody who was open carrying?
I was called here. That was the
No.
normal. I was called here.
No.
What is it for you?
No. How do I know you're not a felon?
Oh, yeah. No, you're not wrong. I'm sorry. I should have known that. You're right. Yeah. How do I know you're not how do I know you're not a criminal?
You have to give me your ID to prove you're not a felon to open carry.
Oh, that's how
That was their go-to for forever.
That's how that
Yeah.
works. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I still see it pop up every once in a while, but it's a lot less than it used to be.
Yeah. I gotta say something over onto our Instagram. Look, guys, I do Instagram live as a bonus, and I see you guys over there. I have a gigantic 57-inch wide monitor. Okay. And it gives me all the real estate I need for all these YouTube videos I got queued up for my restream where I'm talking to our awesome guest. And then I put Instagram live on here as a bonus along with TikTok live. Our main things are YouTube, LinkedIn, and that's really it. But also Facebook and Instagram are a bonus. So if you're over there chatting on Instagram, please jump over to our YouTube channel. It is much harder for us to keep track of that because Restream, the program we use, doesn't ingest what you guys are saying. So I apologize. I should have said that at the beginning, but people jump on and off. So don't get offended if I'm not looking at what you're saying. It's just most of our audience knows to jump over to our YouTube. And I actually have the YouTube live link already right there on Instagram. So just click on that. Sorry about that, Matt.
No, but seeing stuff like that is what got me more and more involved.
Yeah.
So that's when I saw what Open Carry Texas was doing. That's why I joined Open Carry Texas.
Gotcha. So we've had Kyle Rittenhouse on here. He's a big 2A guy, obviously. And I think he was actually hired by somebody, a 2A group out of Texas.
CJ actually won his gun. Kyle is down here at a gun range event, and there was a raffle for giving away a couple of his handguns or something, and CJ won it. So CJ has one of Kyle's handguns now.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Kyle was really close to getting hired onto a department out in Arizona. And that's how he's here, and he was actually very close to the city I work in. And he had mutual friends. We got connected. So long story short, we got connected. Had him on the podcast and stuff like that. But he told me a lot of people don't know this. He almost had a second shooting. They broke into his apartment trying to get to him. They found out where he lived. And Kyle's not dumb. I mean, he is tactically a sound kid. Like I say kid, he's like 22. So, and he was telling me the story. He's like, I heard him coming in. He's like, I could have sat in front of the door and just waited for him to come through. He's like, but I went into my room. There's a long hallway leading to my room. And he's like, I put myself in a position that they couldn't see me, but I could see down the hall. And he's like, if they would have came down the hall and reached a certain point, I had a line in the sand and I would have done what I had to do. But luckily the cops got there prior, which is very rare. Like, I want people to understand when seconds matter, cops are minutes away. I just hope you guys understand that.
I've beaten cops to calls for home invasion.
Yeah.
When I'm out cop watching, and it really, really messed with them when they showed up to a home invasion call, and there's a guy parked 100 yards away with a camera sitting out the window recording, waiting for them to show up.
Yeah,
that got them talking on the radio.
I bet it did. I bet it did. I'm not gonna lie. If I saw some car like chilled out, I'd be like, "What the fuck is that guy doing?"
I had been on a lot of calls that night, so one of the other cops told him what was going on, but the guy who was pulling up didn't know who it was. He's like, there's a guy with a camera recording us as we're pulling up to this call, and they're like, yeah, he's the one that was involved with the shooting earlier. He's out recording us today. That was a whole wild day. Yeah. Crime scene couldn't find some bullets that went through a guy's calf, and I did.
Oh no shit!
I have really good flashlights.
Yeah, you do. What's your favorite brand of flashlight?
Well, Olight for just everyday stuff, but
Okay.
Some of the newer brands, for rifle lights, I go with. I mean, Surefire and them are kind of falling behind. So I've gone with a little bit of the with the owl or whatever for some of the rifle lights.
Okay, fair enough.
But if it's just going in your pocket, no light's good enough for me.
I'm a Phoenix fan. Used a lot of Phoenix.
I have a Phoenix PD 35, the white laser.
Yes. Hell
yeah, that's gotten me in trouble a couple times.
What, is it really? Yeah, that's the one I like.
Well, it's got me arrested once. Well, they'll detained for half an hour and then unarrested when the supervisor came by. That was down in Corpus.
What was wrong with the light?
A cop tried to blind me with his spotlight after the stop was done, just to mess with me. He hated, and so he came out and arrested me, and then the supervisor made him unarrest me.
Oh wow!
That
is crazy. That is one of those things. As a police officer, I try to tell people. I try to tell my rookies when I was a supervisor in the field. I'm like, look, we were working in an entertainment district, like thousands of people. I'm like, if you hit people in the face with a flashlight, what are you gonna do when they do it back? What are you gonna do when they do it back?
Yep. Now, a lot of the cop watchers, I mean, that's half the reason I gave out $6,000 worth of flashlights, was so that when cops did try to blind our cameras, you'd have something to point back at them. And when what you've got's brighter than what they got, it gets fun.
Yeah, I bet
when they've got when they've got 1,000 lumens and you've got 10,000, they usually give up pretty fast.
I've had a couple officers I've worked with have O lights, but I've never used one myself. I've never tried one.
For pocket lights, they're good. For weapon lights, I'd go with something a little bit better.
Surefire,
but that's just Well, Surefire for a pistol, but some of the other brands are passing up Surefire by leaps and bounds on the rifle lights. So I go with some of the newer guys on those.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he was a SWAT cop who couldn't stand anybody who wasn't a cop having a gun anywhere in his line of sight. We'd had an interaction the weekend before, and he acted like a complete jackass over another traffic stop that was already over there just waiting for the tow truck. And I met him again the next week on a DUI stop. Didn't have any interaction with him at all because there's 5 cops there. And it was over. Guys arrested. Everybody, the passengers got in their Uber, and they're just waiting on the tow truck. So I move way the heck off, like 20, 30 yards, and just wait for the scene to break up. And he gets in his car, moves it around, backs it up so he can point the spotlight at me, and points the spotlight at me.
Dang.
Yeah, just to blind me. I'm standing under a street light.
What an asshole.
Yeah, and then when gave him back, he couldn't handle that. So you're detained for investigation.
What's the investigation?
That's all he couldn't say. He never did.
And so the supervisor showed up and did what he should do.
Made him let me go. Yeah.
Okay. Did the supervisor say anything to you? I'm just curious.
Oh, a couple things. Yeah, but I said that side's going to be on the lawsuit, and I still need to get their body cams. So that one's not going to be public info yet. But there was a lot of cops explaining. Trying to get why it's where I got my channel name. What I added, it's always been HBOMATT, but the Blatantly Armed Media, that came from Murray, the cop who grabbed me. His excuse was, you were behind me and you were blatantly armed. That's a t-shirt. That's my new channel. That's my new channel name.
I like it.
Got to make the hat.
That's funny. What's funny
Blatantly Armed Media.
So I used ChatGPT to come up with like a description for when I was posting the episode. And that's what it came up with, was like, are you referring to HBOMATT from Blatantly Armed Media? And then like started going down the thing. Like everything about it was blatantly armed. I was like, that's hilarious. I like it. Well,
the two choices were Blatantly Armed Media. Well, I've been throwing around for a year or two, getting like a badge or something for my body armor or a jacket or something. And BAM was one thing I'd been thinking of, or Armed Press, the AP.
Okay.
But yeah, when he came up with that Blatantly Armed, I was like, I gotta go with that.
Armed Press would be pretty good too. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I love this. I'm just putting this up there because of the name. Bulls Deep. He said damaged ego. Yeah, absolutely. That's what happens when your light's brighter. It's a different type of measuring contest. And you won.
The Corpus cops have been pretty good. Probably one of the best police departments in the country. There's only a couple of ones that act out really bad. Gang unit hates my guts because I've caught them illegally IDing passengers on traffic stops.
Really?
Yeah, so they don't like me.
Yeah.
But mostly it's just been the officers that couldn't handle me. But yeah, Murray's a SWAT cop, and he just literally couldn't handle somebody who's carrying being anywhere near him, which made it really fun when the next day there was a SWAT call right next to my house that night, and I went out there and he didn't even notice I was there. I got there before he did. And so an hour and a half later, when it's over and the fireball from the car has burned down, he sees me out there carrying and watching. He's going back to his personal car, and he's just like, what the fuck is this guy still doing out here? I fucked with him yesterday. Why is he still on the street?
Yeah.
He should have learned his lesson.
Right. And you should have known better.
Yeah, so there's a SWAT call the next day, and he didn't even notice me, that I was literally standing on the street outside the scene when he pulled up. And then when it's all over, 2 hours later, he finally notices me, and I'm still open carrying, and I'm still there recording, and he's like, fuck.
I'm going to give a shout out to MBurp. I know that's not how you pronounce it, but MBurp podcast. He said, this convo is why I respect Two Cops, One Donut. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. So Matt,
Corpus has been good, but now they're getting worse, and they retaliated. A week after I announced I'm filing the lawsuit, they encrypted all their scanner traffic.
What? Really?
Yeah. Without notice. They didn't tell anybody. They didn't tell the media. For the last 6 months now, news media in Corpus hasn't been able to have B-roll on any active crime scenes because the scanners are all encrypted, including police, EMS, and fire.
Even their basic patrol channels?
Everything. Even EMS and fire dispatch are encrypted now.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
Did it without notice, didn't tell the council, didn't make any announcement, weren't authorized by the city council, no debate, no nothing.
Ooh, they just making moves, huh?
Yep.
Good luck with that. I get when you have tactical channels, that makes sense. I get that, but other than that,
we don't have a constitutional right to it. But I do think that the thing we got to push is have state laws written that says dispatch channels for all public, all government radio should be unencrypted. Yeah. Because that's transparency to the public. So I don't think we can win a First Amendment argument to get it. So it's going to be up to everybody to get laws passed saying at the state level, every fire department, EMS, police department has to leave their dispatch channel unencrypted.
I could agree with that. I think that's fine. I'll push you one further, Matt. What do you think about this? I think that officers should have a duty to inform, and this is what I mean by duty to inform. And yes, sorry, MBurp. He said, "Can't wait to have Two Cops, One Donut on my show." Yes, I do plan to do your podcast. Duty to inform. Here's what I mean. If I don't have a right to your ID, I need to inform you. Hey, I don't have a right to your ID, but I would like your ID for these purposes, and this is what I plan to do. I think that would help improve police relationships with the community. Absolutely. And it would help inform people of their rights. Hey, I don't have a right to detain you right now, but I would like to stop and talk to you. Instead of doing the, hey, can I ask you a question real quick? Hey, real quick, would you go before they can even answer? And then you just start to, like, it's a tactic we use. I've used it where you just get them talking and then you're like, all right, cool. All right, well, while I'm talking to you real quick, like, you know, were you down the street over here by this part? And then you're in a conversation and I can say it was consensual, but I didn't inform the person that they had the right to walk away.
The biggest thing cop watchers have done in Texas is teach 3802 to everybody. So now you've got regular people on the street saying, knowing they don't have to ID, right. But it's still not enough because not everybody pays attention, not everybody knows, and you still get cops who get it wrong. So making that policy, yeah, it would help a lot. But I mean, it's given how many problems we've got and how power hungry government is, just to start with, I don't think we're ever going to see that except for one-offs in a couple cities. You've got, I can't remember what state it was that it was California. Said that cops have to give you the reason they pulled you over now.
Yeah, it is just California.
So up front. Are we going to get constitutionally? Can you argue that? No, but state law wise, hell yes, get that passed.
Yeah,
we don't need It also would disincline federal agents from setting up local cops to pull over a drug kingpin and get themselves killed. If you're familiar with that case.
I'm sorry. Which case is that?
I think it was Arizona or New Mexico. They were the FBI, DEA wanted to pull over a guy who was pretty much a drug kingpin. So they asked a local cop to do a bad stop on him just so that they could catch up, but they didn't warn him. They just said, "Hey, we're interested in this guy."
Oh.
And so the guy gets out with an AR pistol and blows the cop away.
No shit.
Yeah. I'd have to go look it up for the name. That happened a couple of years ago.
No.
It shows up as one of y'all's training vids usually because his body cam was running live for it, and it's pretty bad.
I think I know which one you're talking about. It's very brutal.
Yeah.
It's very brutal. Yeah.
So if you couldn't do bullshit stops and not tell somebody why you're pulled over, you wouldn't be using fall guys to make these bullshit stops and get them endangered. For somebody who should never have been pulled over on anything that wasn't a felony stop.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think that I think they call it the 7-step violator. Like,
Or
normally
the Kansas 2-step.
Yeah. Basically what I'm supposed to say is like, hey, I'm Sergeant Levine with the such and such the police department. The reason I pulled you over is this. Is there any reason that you were doing this? Do you have your license, registration, proof of insurance? Like that's like the script. And in that script, you're telling them why you pulled them over. And the whole reason that you should be telling them that is, one, they need to be informed. And two, it helps de-escalate things. It helps. They're not guessing. And you're not putting them, do you know why I pulled you over? I fucking hate that, by the way. You shouldn't be doing that, I think. Doesn't make me right, but
I think pretextual stops shouldn't be a thing, but it also is just
Texas
stupid to be doing a pretextual stop on somebody who should be taken down as a felony stop. If you actually had the illegal reason to pull them over, that should be the bright line.
Right.
Yeah. So if the guy's so dangerous, you need to be doing a felony stop on him, but you can't legally do that, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you just don't have it yet. Be patient. That's the thing. That's what we try to tell cops. I'm like, you don't have it yet. Just relax. It'll come. Like bad guys, real bad guys, they're gonna do bad guy shit. You're gonna get them.
Well, and the traffic code in Texas there's it doesn't take much to have a traffic violation.
No, that's one of the other things we got to change is arresting people for turn signals.
Well, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should be able to do that either.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
they call that cash bonding.
I understand cars, and I was a mechanic for long enough, prior to being a police officer, and so it's like my son is a deputy. He's a young deputy in the county we live in, and I'm like, if you can't figure out a reason to pull that vehicle over, then you need to just go the other direction, because most vehicles, except for brand new vehicles, they have a violation. You just have to know the traffic code.
We've had retaliation cases in Texas where a cop wanted to mess with somebody, so they arrested him for
that's ridiculous.
failing to use a turn signal. And it's one of those things we got to get rid of.
Yeah, I know guys that, especially narcotics guys, they'll use not using your turn signal 100 feet prior. They'll use, not coming to a complete stop prior to the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. Like when you're leaving a parking lot. So that's something a lot of people don't know. You're supposed to stop prior to the sidewalk, and they'll creep all the way out. So they have all of these tools to use when they're going after people that sell and buy narcotics. So I'm not a narc guy, but when I was a young cop, that's what I thought I kind of wanted to do. And I learned all these tips and tricks that they did. And then I came to the realization on my own really quick. I'm like, you guys are just cutting the head off of one snake, and it's just popping up. Like,
well, that's how a certain couple got murdered over in Houston. The house raid, like the cops that ended up going to jail, the narc cops.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, that was a big case.
Houston's a shithole, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody can remember their names. No, it was a narc cop called in a fake warrant on a house, got an informant to lie, and the narc cops did their own SWAT raid on the house with no body cams and ended up killing the husband and wife inside.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
straight up
Holy
murdered them. Just straight up
Jesus.
murdered them.
Wow.
Yeah. So the main cop's doing some jail time now. Took a couple of years.
And
but he's in jail now.
And if there's any officer that's watches what I do and they're following this, like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. They're probably lying. Da, 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 da. Listen, we had on the very last podcast we had the Warlocker show, guys, and his dad was an IA cop for LAPD. And his dad had a case where several detectives were setting off burglar alarms at jewelry stores to get a response so they could go in and then steal shit. And that was like a very famous case. So if you think that this is out of the realm of possibility that cops would do this stuff, it happens.
The cop's name was Gerald Goins. It was the Tuttles.
The Tuttles. No, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah. Dennis Tuttle and Regina Nicholas. Yeah, that made national news, man, because they pretty much murdered him on live TV.
What? No shit.
There's witness cameras. The guy didn't instantly die. The wife was instantly killed. They killed the dog. They killed the wife. The guy was still alive, and they sent a robot in to kill him. And
Tony
so people were live streaming by the time that happened.
Tony the dog walker knew who you're talking about.
Yeah. So they went back and did all the investigation. The warrant was made up. There was no confidential informant. He just made the report up so he could do the raid. And something like 150 cases got thrown out because of him, because of that. And that whole narc squadron got disbanded. And 6 of the cops got indicted. And the Goins was the main one. He's doing, I don't know, 20 years or something now.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So
no, sorry. He's doing 60 years.
So he's done.
Yeah.
MBRRP said, I have a flock cam expert for you, Eric. He's a lay expert. Email me. All right. I don't know how familiar you guys are with my background with the National Real-Time Crime Center Association. I'm a part of that. I'm an executive board member, which is basically all the technologies in policing, especially for real-time crime centers, obviously. So in that, I get a lot of connections and stuff with these companies and stuff. So I got some people in mind, but I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, Twitchy's in the house. What's up, Twitchy? I didn't see you there earlier. It's the first time I've seen your name pop up. Yeah, we got Matt. We got some OGs when it comes to your world in the comment section tonight. Andy Fletcher's one of them. Mr. Billfold, another one. Constitutional Country Girl. I love giving these guys shout outs because these are your fan base, brother. I mean, they're here. They do talk on our channel. They do the Two Cops One Donut stuff, but these are your people. These are the ones that follow you. They love what you do, and they're here supporting. They're the reason that you're on. Honestly, they reached out to me and they're like, you gotta ask HBOMATT. And then you popped in the chat that one day, which thank you for doing that, by the way. We really appreciate that. But I don't want to forget to tell you this is like, I truly do want to make police work better. I really do. And so that's why I think it's important for cops to get out of their
I'm nowhere near being an anarchist.
Yeah. To get out of their own fucking way. This is my problem, is they want a cop echo chamber everywhere. Cops want this echo chamber. And I think that's the worst mentality that you can have. I want to be surrounded by people that hate police. I want to. And the reason being is I need to understand their perspective. They have it for a reason. What is the reason? I don't think you hate police, that's not the point I was trying to make, but like there's a catalyst for doing what you did and why you do it. Like you were literally probably doing the most benign form of 1A auditing I've ever seen. You just were a normal dude in a parking lot filming, and then this cop was a dickhead. Mm-hmm. And he fueled the fire to create HBOMATT. I think that's a fair assessment.
Would I have gotten into cop watching anyway? Yes. Would I have immediately started out as the only guy out there who open carries every minute I'm doing it? No.
Right. So that's my point. Like we've created the people that we try to condemn as cops. And they're like, oh, they're frauditors. They're this. I fucking hate that term, by the way.
There's some guys out there that are just in it for the money and the bullshit, but they're pretty few compared to the vast majority.
Thank you. And that is the point that I try to make about police is I think there's a lot of good cops out there doing a lot of great things. And that's why I try to share the good. It's just, unfortunately, let's face it. Let's be real. The algorithms don't support that.
Nope.
They don't. So I'm trying to kind of force it. But I can't force it without showing the bad too. I got to be balanced. I have to show the bad, and I have to acknowledge it as a cop that there are bad things going on out there, and that's where our conversations come in. If I just have cops on here like Alan, like
nobody's going to listen.
If I had the jail body cam from Livingston, it'd be great for everybody to play it because while I was getting booked on the felony charges, I talked to the guards about what silencer they should buy next.
I mean,
we had a great conversation. They're like, what are you in here for? I was like, I was open carrying with a silencer, and they're like, oh, what kind? I'm like, yeah. This is good. That's not good. Yeah. Here's the channel. You should go join up. The NFA review channel. He has the best reviews out there. So if you want to go pick something out, watch what he says about it first. It's great.
Yeah. So that I wanted to get that out there before we keep going. I really thank you because a lot of guys in your position, they wouldn't give us the time of day. They wouldn't come on and talk to cops because one, they might think we're going to ambush them, which I would never fucking do. We've had so many people on here that I would consider, the push against cops, and there's no way I would ever do that. But two, I genuinely I want to have these conversations so I can understand. I need to understand where you're coming from, where the mission set started, and why you do what you do. Because when we have these conversations, now people, that argument that they're a frauditor and they're just out there to cause some shit, I'm like, listen to this interview. Listen to us talk to this guy. Tell me that this was just because he wants to go start some shit.
If you want to take it down to the bone, right? I think this country's screwed. History demands it. History says so, and the path we're on. We are going to we're on step 6 or whatever it is for that steps of democracy, right? So I don't think I'm going to do what change I can and make things better as far as I can. I'll go for case law that might change the country, do what I can on that, but I don't expect it to change things around to the point where things actually get fixed. So at this point, this is leaving a record for the next generation. So when Constitution number 2 gets written, if the world is still a place and the internet's still a thing, and we haven't blown ourselves back that far into time, the guys who write Constitution round 2 will start handling some of the stuff at the beginning, learning the lessons from us on what we got wrong or just what we didn't think of to write in 300 years ago, because it just wasn't something we thought of. We thought shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed. It turns out you need to say a little bit more to keep the assholes from getting away with stuff, or at least push it back a little bit farther in time until you go through that cycle too.
My favorite way to point out like just how times have changed, and you guys are going to laugh at this, but you want to tell people how times have changed. Go back to when this country first started and tell them that we sell bottled water. I mean, think about it. Remember when bottled water first came out? I was like, who's going to buy? I can go to the hose and get water.
Yeah. How many people in this country do you think who aren't total book nerds know what small beer is?
Ooh, I don't know what small beer is.
That's the watered down beer they drink instead of water.
What?
Yeah. You know, for like the last 2,000 years, water wasn't considered safe to drink, so you drink beer, right?
They would drink beer. Yeah.
So the watered down beer that is just alcoholic enough to make it safe, the water safe to drink, but not enough to get you drunk, that was called small beer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if you're going to the bar to get drunk, you ask for beer. If you're going to the bar and you just want to have something to drink along with the food you're ordering, you order a small beer.
Ah.
Or that's what you let the kids drink too.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I knew you were going to be a good guest because I was going to learn some shit.
That's it. Anybody who's not some kind of book nerd reading old books or
Yeah.
new books that talk about stuff in the 1600s,
Yeah.
they'd never know that word. They'd never know that term.
I did know that they drank beer because the water was never safe to drink, but
Yeah.
I had never heard the term small beer, so that's interesting. Very cool.
Yeah, this conversation just made me think of my childhood. You know, I can remember like playing down the street, and all of a sudden I got thirsty, and I ran up. Like I didn't even know who lived at this house, and it was like, oh, I just ran up there and got a drink from the water hose. Now I can see kids getting arrested for that. Like,
Well, shit. I grew up in
freaking
Flint, sir.
stupid. Yeah. Well,
If I
have
would
y'all
have done
seen
that
the
Flint,
have y'all seen the Trinidad? Have y'all seen the Trinidad water thing going on?
mm-mm.
You didn't know about Otto getting arrested again?
Oh, yeah, I did know
Oh,
Otto
yeah,
got
yeah,
arrested again.
yeah,
Yeah, I actually we texted
that-
back and forth.
Yeah, that's over the water down in Trinidad. They've arrested the woman
because
for a
that
Facebook
lady-
post.
Yeah, the lady made a Facebook post.
Yeah.
And then
So
and then she got
Otto
arrested.
went over there and got arrested, and then the next CJ's his lawyer, and Grable now too, and CJ's the lawyer for her, for everything.
That's insane.
Went down there the next day, and the cops said they'd arrest him for saying fuck. So yeah, they told a couple of civil attorneys they'd be arrested if they said fuck on the steps of City Hall.
Wow.
Yeah,
who's the complaining party? That's what I would ask.
Nobody. During
Right.
the arrest, the police chief was saying that the water clerk was the one who was the complainant. Yeah, she wouldn't sign on to the complaint, and they fired her.
Oh, no shit.
She said she wasn't offended and didn't want to make a complaint and
Because
didn't make a complaint right then.
I do know.
And so they fired her.
Some cities have city ordinances about offensive language where you can be cited, not necessarily arrested, but you could be cited for it. But being arrested for offensive language in general, again, that's against the First Amendment.
It's got to be fighting words. That's something
right.
I've been fighting too. The Corpus, the mayor, arrested a girl for saying "goddamn."
And again,
so that got me involved, and we're doing the same thing all across the country now, where people are getting arrested for saying naughty words at public meetings. The ruling on that goes back to 1972, Supreme Court, New Jersey case at a school board.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell the school board to fuck off.
Right.
Well, the second that you can put naughty words on any kind of federal communications, that just allowed you to say it's okay to do, because there's federal law on what words you can and can't put over airwaves.
I get some different lights going.
And so you can say whatever you want to say. Like,
it's
that's not working.
Yeah, from behind you is going to be bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you for one on that. I try to tell people all the time. I've actually posted probably at least 10 videos of cops trying to threaten people or actually making arrests based on language where I'm like, nobody was offended, for one. Like, even if you were going to use it, you got to find somebody that's offended. You as a cop can't be offended. Yeah. That's just the way that works.
And even there's still too many statutes that say being offended is enough when the case law says it's not. All the cops see in the statute is offended, and they don't read the rest of it. They think if somebody's offended, you're going to jail. So they go looking for somebody who's offended, and there's been so many cases on that. Yeah. That they lose almost every time because it's just blinking them in the face. That's been ruled on. You can't do it anymore. They still do it.
Yeah.
I think now the Hodge twins have covered it. The New York Post covered it yesterday.
I love the Hodge twins.
Yeah. So
stop smacking. That's my favorite, when they're eating in the car together.
Yeah. And then what's his name is covering it now, so the frogs are being turned gay by the water. Yeah.
Oh man, Alan's drinking.
Trinidad water's turning the freaking frogs gay.
That makes a lot
Alex
of
Jones.
sense. Alan
So Alex Jones is tweeting the story out now. So yeah, it's going pretty big.
That's funny. I mean, the dude, people laugh, but time is always told. He's usually right.
You see any of the backstory on the cops for there?
Mm-mm.
Police chief's been at 10 different departments in the last 13 years, and every other officer in that police department has been at somewhere between 10 and 25 departments in their careers.
This
Yeah,
okay.
it's an entire town of gypsy cops. Every single one of them.
This goes back into my thing about how there needs to be a national registry for anybody that applies to be a cop or becomes a cop. There needs to be a national registry. There needs to be, it needs to show your entire record, no matter what. So then when you do, if you do become one of those cops and you're wandering place to place and you become the next Sonia Massey in the boiling water incident, like that cop should have never been hired. Should have never been hired. It was like his 6th department. And I think like he'd been in like several departments within a year.
I think one of the cops in Trinidad is over 20.
That is insane. That is insane. Now, are there outliers? There's always outliers for things. Like if your wife's a traveling, I don't know why I went with a wife, but if your wife's a traveling nurse, that's my wife's a nurse, so I know about this, but you could be a traveling nurse, and you go do the police thing in another place. You just follow wherever your wife goes, or husband, if your husband's a traveling nurse. But I get that stuff, but that is so way, way outside the realm of normal. Like there needs to be a national registry. If you get fired, hired, quit, whatever it is, if you've ever tried to be in first responder world, there needs to be a record of that. Why you got investigated, why your whole jacket, all of that, all needs to be there. And I think it's incredibly crazy that we don't have that.
Yeah, Brady list isn't good enough, going off what Ryan says. They'll still put cops on that'll still go out and mess with them. They just won't. If you take it to trial, then your case gets dropped.
Yeah. Well, and there's a whole different problem with the Brady.
The Brady list can be political. That can be
politically jacked up.
It's fucked up.
Like you were talking earlier, there's a problem with the court system, and the Brady list is not. It's an out to get you program, and it's not doing the right thing.
Politics can have a big. I learned a lot about the Brady list. I did not realize. I thought the Brady list was national. It's not. It's just that county. And if you have a fucking crazy corrupt county, and let's say you're that one cop,
plenty of them.
Yeah, and you stood up against, you could be a cop that gets Brady listed because the politics are out to get you. But Ario sent $5 in the super chat, said, yeah, being merely offended isn't enough. And there has to some true threat. There has to be some true threat. I think that's what they meant. Or something that would bring ordinary person to violence.
I filed criminal charges against the mayor of Corpus over the language thing.
Really?
Well, you go read the Open Meetings Act. Because of so many county judges and school boards and mayors kicking people out and arresting them for naughty words, they changed the Open Meetings Act 6 years ago and added in, under no circumstances can you stop somebody from using critical words or saying critical things about the agency or whatever the subject is, unless those words in themselves violate a statute or law. So pretty much you can say whatever the hell you want as long as it's not a criminal threat or something else that breaks the law.
Yeah.
They had to add that into the Open Meetings Act, which means that violating that is now knowingly violating somebody's rights, which is the definition of official oppression.
Yeah.
So I filed criminal official oppression charges against the mayor because it's her policy. If you say God damn or fuck or shit, she's going to kick you out of the meeting and have you arrested if you don't stop talking. So we'll see if that actually goes anywhere, if the AG's office takes it up.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be a pretty good way to stop these mayors and school board members and whatever from having people arrested for saying fuck if they get arrested too.
I would hope that the cops would be like, I'm not arresting him for that. I would hope.
No, the Corpus cops wouldn't even take the report. When I tried to file it against her, Corpus cops wouldn't even take the report. I had to go to the sheriff.
No shit. Wow.
Yeah, they wouldn't even take the report. They straight up said right there, you violated the rules, and even said you actually violated the law. We're just not charging you with it, and so we're not going to even take the report against the mayor.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Got to be neutral.
Got to be neutral. That's it.
There's an old school cop who said I should have been arrested for disorderly conduct, but they won't let me.
Jesus. Wow. Well, Matt, I'm going to give you the option, sir. We've had you on here for 2 hours. I normally now we go to some videos that we've posted and kind of discuss those. You're more than welcome to hang out and do those.
Sure.
I don't know if you have some. Okay, cool. Nothing else needs to be said then. People just
Let me go turn some lights on.
Okay, yeah, no worries. People, if you've got questions for Matt or anything like that, please put them in the chat. We'll get to them as we go. But I am going to do what we do here. We talk about the videos that we've shared throughout the week. So I'm going to get to the first one, which is AI has been killing it for me for the thumbnails, by the way. I really like the thumbnails that it's been able to create. So I've been getting better at them. So I'm going to click on this guy here. Everyone loves officer discretion until it turns into 2 funerals.
So that's your registration, right? The reason for this...
That kid was speeding so bad, he almost hit him. I know he's getting a fight.
I know. That's why I stopped him.
He almost hit me too.
Ma'am, that's why I stopped him. Have a nice night, okay? That's why I'm stopping for reckless driving, careless driving, speeding, and the lights you ran, okay? You were doing at least 100 on Kennedy Boulevard. You almost struck my car. I'm giving you that break, all right? Yeah, I'm saying.
After giving this couple a break, this officer is going to regret his decision instantly.
Yo, this is the same kid. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's the same car I just had, sorry. Same car? Yeah, I told him, like, don't slow down. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Young as hell, bro. I told him, don't slow on for a shorty, man. All right? Yeah, I'm sure? Yeah, I'm fine. Are they all right? Look, deal with it. Both.
This is all right. So the topic on this is discretion. And it's kind of been the theme for the week of a lot of the stuff that I put out there is what is the line? What's the line for a lot of people? Now, Matt, a kid doing over 100 and you got a third party complaint come in where a lady comes up concerned and the officer even seen it with his own eyes, like that this kid was driving just crazy, 100 miles an hour plus. And then it ended up being fatal for both of them after the cop tried to cut him loose. And the point that I was trying to make is that had the cop, like, you could be arrested for that. That is what is called criminal speeding. Not to mention you got a third party complaint. But there's also that side of me that's like, you don't have it's speeding. It's a traffic ticket. It's not, at the end of the day, where's the real victim? That's going to be kind of one of the arguments. Had the cop done everything that he could have done, this young lady in the passenger seat would still be alive at least. But then the argument's going to be that it's just a revenue getter and trying to do all this stuff. So discretion doesn't have a fine. It's a gray area, right? So what do you think?
I say that's not even a gray area. Take the car.
Take the car. Okay. So
that's I've been driving 16 years, man. I've seen too many people dead. For discretion on the bullshit stuff, yeah, fine. But there's just, for me, there's a bright line where you start endangering the public. And that even if you're this kind of person that say there's no victim, so you can't do the victimless crime, and that's your hard line.
Yeah.
At that point, you're endangering the public. So drunk drivers is the same thing. Like what you got over in Tennessee, where they're arresting people who aren't drunk. Completely crosses the line. But I've seen too many dead people because of drunk drivers to say drunk drivers are fine until you shouldn't be arrested until you kill somebody or you crash. That's bullshit.
Yeah. And I would say in this one, for me, and Alan probably just feels the same, like I would have held that guilt. Like, even though I know it wasn't officially on me, it's on the driver. He's the one that was responsible. But I think based on the information given during the stop, the fact that you had a third party person stop and say they almost hit somebody on a bike, this guy's driving crazy, I would have at least tried to do some sort of DWI check just to see. What do you think, Alan?
No, I completely agree. I actually have a past coworker. I left and went to work for a different agency for like 3 months. And while I was there, the officer pulled over a young lady that had ran a stop sign in front of the school that we worked at. It was like 12 o'clock at night. He was doing security checks on all the buildings. And at 4 a.m., about 100 miles north of where we were located, he was involved in a lawsuit for 2 years because they found the traffic ticket that he had issued her for the traffic stop. And so he had to deal with it because this young lady killed everybody in her car, and another vehicle killed everybody in that vehicle. But, he held that guilt because he's like, she wasn't intoxicated when I dealt with her, but, could have I done more? Like, would have I, me by doing something, would have it have stopped all this stuff? And, he had a great conversation with her on his camera, all these different things to prove that she wasn't slurring her words, all this stuff. But, what the lawsuit was saying was, well, she didn't have time from where the fatality happened. She would have had to have almost started drinking after he pulled her over. And, that's where they tried to hang him up with it. But it was, he lived that guilt, still living with that guilt that 6 people were killed because of her drinking. And the only way they were able to prove him back to where she started from was the traffic ticket was laying in the passenger seat.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt,
You want a perfect example from me recording last night?
Yeah.
Downtown Oklahoma last night, bar district, right? Cops have somebody pulled over. Well, we think it's pulled over, so we start walking up. A hotel concierge is out front, a little wary of us walking by, but starts talking and tells us, yeah, she's drunk. I'm like, oh, DWI. Okay, well, we're going to watch what happens. We're going to record. And he comes up and tells us, yeah, she walked by me falling down drunk, literally fell down 4 times. So I asked her for her keys, and she handed them over saying, arrest me, officer. He's the concierge. And then gets in her car. He calls the cops. So when we get there, cops already decided before we showed up, she's drunk as hell, but she doesn't have the car keys, even though she's in the front seat now.
Yeah.
I'm going to let her call for a friend to pick her up.
I'm okay with that.
That's great.
Yeah. And it wasn't like a reaction to us showing up recording. He'd already decided that when we got there, and we found out just listening.
That's perfect.
So everybody drew the line. Member of the public saw somebody who's so drunk they're going to kill somebody, so does what they need to stop them. But the cops decide she hasn't broken the law yet because she doesn't have her keys anymore, and we're going to let her get a ride to go home instead of ruining her life.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm 100% with that. No harm, no foul.
That was last night.
Yeah. Yeah. You prevented.
I think that's one of the biggest things that I struggle with our communities is our community has to step up and do something for the community and support the community. The community I live in, there's 15 police officers. If people go and completely get into a riot, things like that, the officers can't do anything. They need to support the community, be the best witnesses, those type of things. If you're vigilant and you see something that's out of place, hey, let people know. Like, I think that's one of the problems is everybody are so focused on their little bubble and they don't, so we've let it get out of hand and we're not helping police the community as citizens. And, I love what you're doing. You're holding people accountable, but at a certain point we have to hold each other accountable as a citizen, not as,
I have the same argument with my dad. He's old school. Parents don't like what I'm doing just because it's me. They don't want their kid being the one out there taking the risks. I was talking about carrying and when you use the gun, and he's like, gas station, something's going down. I'm just getting my family out and not getting involved. And I'm like, if somebody's life's in danger, I'm stepping in. That's just the way I see it. It's part of the community responsibility. Unless I'm in, some slave state like California, then go to hell because you decided you don't want my help. Yeah. But yeah, this is gas station robbery, and the guy's talking about taking everybody in the back, which is when they start shooting people usually. I'm stepping in, and my dad would be like, "Just get out." I'm like, "This, you gotta. There's a community responsibility. It's not just up to the cops to do the right thing all the time. Regular people got to step and do the right thing too."
Yeah, I agree. In that's kind of one of the premises for what we do here, Matt, is I realized a long time ago in policing that if you count on the police to do everything, it ain't going to work. Like Like, I understand that's our job. Our job is to try to help qualm crime and all that. But if that's your dependency, you're going to be left wanting. And at the same time, the citizens can't go out and do it. They're not trained for it. That's not what they're there for. But together, that's where the sweet spot is. I don't need you to go out there and fight the crime as a citizen. It's awesome when you do, and I really appreciate it when you're successful at it. But at the bare minimum, I just need you to help me do it. Like, tell me, all right, I need you to report things. That's the first start. Because, snitches get stitches, right?
And
So,
not report some things.
Right. And not report. Thank you. Thank you. Because that's another one. I had, I could show you the video. I call her the Super Karen. Because this lady, she's yelling at people for setting up a little taco stand at the park. And she's losing her shit. I want to see your permit. I'm calling the police. Da, 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 da. Like, she's going off on these guys. And then meanwhile, behind her, another group lets off some fireworks. So while she's trying to yell at these guys for having an illegal taco stand, she turns around and she's like, you can't have fireworks in the park. I'm calling the police. And they're playing the national anthem. It's the funniest shit ever. I mean, it can't get more American. This lady's bitching at both sides. Meanwhile, they're playing the national anthem and honoring the country and all this stuff for her freedom to go around and start complaining about them having the freedom to do it. It's so funny. It's very.
I loved cop watching on July 4th in Corpus back when I could listen to the scanner, and I'd keep record of how many false shots fired calls.
Yeah,
versus the ones there were, and it's like 40-1 on July.
Oh my
4th.
God, we don't even take.
It's fun.
We don't even take shots fired calls.
There'd be like 2 calls during the night where like, yeah, they started shooting at my house and there's bullet holes in the wall.
Yeah.
So that there'd be 2 calls.
That's
like
legit.
that during the night. Yeah.
Yeah, that's legit. Okay, let me. I didn't intentionally do this, but I did have a couple of dog videos, so I'm going to share the screen. Matt, I don't know about you, but are you a truck driver that has a dog with him?
No.
Oh, those are the coolest.
Too many restricted locations, and it takes up a lot of your time and money.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm a type of guy could never go without a dog, I guess.
I'm a dog person. It's just if I wanted to have a dog, I wouldn't be a truck driver.
Gotcha. I do. Okay, I'm just gonna write it in the comments. Don't let me forget to ask Matt this special question. I'm going to put it right there so everybody holds me accountable. After this video and we watch this and we talk about it, I want to ask you this special question so I don't want to forget. No. All right, let's tip.
Cops run into a burning home.
Come on.
I gotta get on the phone.
Holy shit, y'all. It's early.
All right, let me stop this. Okay, so for one, there's been a lot of push lately that I've been seeing, at least in my feeds and stuff. Oh, cops shoot 25 dogs a day or whatever it is. And I'm like, well, cops save a lot of animals. And I've seen it. I've been a part of it. Shit, I rescued a little Shetland pony that ran all the way over to Walmart and put him in the back seat of the car.
That picture is still going around.
That's my awesome. God. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But to my point is cops rescue way more animals than they harm. And that has been, I don't put my line in the sand too often, but this is one I have witnessed personally over and over and over again as cops generally are animal lovers. So at least in the experience that I've had, and I have not seen where they are just shooting animals left and right for no reason. But question, period, exclamation point. Have we shot animals that was bullshit? Like that blind deaf one? That's like the best example I can give.
The female cop with the rifle?
Yes, yeah.
Or the one that just happened where he said the door was open and I didn't hear the dog bark.
Yes.
I was serving it.
Yes.
And yeah.
So you violated their rights.
Man.
Yeah.
I watch
so
everything.
I see you watch all the same shit. So yes, are there examples of cops doing some dumb shit? Yes, I fully acknowledge that. And shit that pisses me off, especially everybody that watches my content. You usually see my Doberman and my pointer somewhere running around in the back while I'm filming. Matter of fact, this video I posted today, I stepped in their shit. So I am a dog lover. I sat 20 minutes on top of my patrol car because a pack of hood dogs ran around the corner after ending Matt, you're going to love this. I want you to picture a bullshit domestic because a Karen called in. They were yelling at each other, right? And she's like, he's beating her ass. So I get there, look up their criminal history as I'm going. And there's no history here. It's just a Karen calling in on them. I get there and they're like, they were even surprised I was there. It was one of those things, you know it when you see it. They're like, somebody called the cops on us yelling at each other. And yeah. I was like, all right, I'm going to leave. So I leave, I'm walking and there's a pack of about 13 dogs. I say about, it specifically was 13 dogs. How do I know that? I had 20 minutes to count them. So they come around the corner and immediately start hauling ass towards me. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I run. I jump on top. I'm in a Crown Vic. I jump on top of the hood, then on top of the light bar on top of my car. And a couple dogs, pit bulls, were trying to get up on the hood, but they, their nails and shit, they just couldn't get a good grip. So they're just circling. Well, then 20 minutes later, I'm like, they're not fucking leaving. They're just circling the vehicle. And it's everything from Chihuahuas, because we're in Texas, to mongrels, like I don't know what they fuck they were, to two big ass pit bulls. They were blue.
Sounds like
pit
Laredo.
bulls. Yeah. And so finally, one of these dogs gets so frustrated, he starts pulling on the wheel well. And I'm like, oh shit, he's going to pull it off. So I get my pepper spray out and I'm like, I wonder if this works on dogs. So I spray and it does. It absolutely works on them. I should have thought of that a lot earlier. I thought I could just outweigh it. And let's be honest, I just didn't feel like taking a call. So if somebody called for me, I'm like, I'm stuck on my car. I didn't want anybody to know. So, so these fucking hood dogs, I could have had every reason to shoot them damn dogs. And I chose the path of least resistance for me. Like, there's no way I'm going to do that.
You didn't want to be the guy calling in over the radio that you're getting attacked by a turkey?
Yeah, that is a, so I grew up in Michigan. That's a real thing. Turkeys are dicks. They're dicks. I don't care who you are.
It's a pretty good video.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was. I love his little banter back and forth with dispatch. That was a pretty funny video. So, but to the point on this one, going into a burning house, one, firefighters hate it when cops go into burning buildings because we're idiots and we don't understand the dynamics of fire. And when I praised this, one of the first things a firefighter sent me a private message and was like, you do realize when you kick that door open, you just fuel fire for the entire house. And you're lucky that a bunch of fire doesn't come and burn you in your little polyester uniform. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to go save a dog. Like, that's what I'm going to do.
Should have gotten there sooner.
Yeah.
Quit playing your Xbox and get in the truck.
Firefighters, aka second responders. It's cool. Shots fired. So, all right.
Wade on there. Wade, I'm friends with Long Island. We talk a lot. So yeah, I've seen that video.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Long Island's a good dude, man. We got to get him back on here. We got to get some updates.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
He's been in Texas. I got mad. I sent him a text. I was like, hey,
I've never actually managed to meet him in person. Every time he's in Texas, I'm in like freaking Nebraska or some shit. Like, can never come across each other.
I'm just like, tell me you're in town.
Fuck. Oh yeah. He likes working alone.
He does.
Him, Jeff, and a couple other guys like working alone.
Yeah.
But they eat. I mean, and cops love to eat. So,
Yeah, that's very true. All right. Oh shit. That's not what I wanted. Let me share the screen here. I think you guys are going to like this one too. We're on the dog theme, right? So I definitely want to know what your thought is on this, Jeff. We were just talking about Jeff. Matt, sorry about that.
Come on, go.
Let me go all the way. This is a side of policing the algorithm never pushes.
Here. Come on. It's hot in here. Come on, Goober. Come on. Yeah. Yes, it's warm. Dog?
Stand there for a second.
Well, we've been here for 10 minutes.
We're standing in line.
Okay. You have your ID?
In the car.
All right. Turn around. I'm going to arrest you for animal cruelty.
How's it cruelty?
You want to sit in that hot car for as long as that dog
The
was?
windows are down. I wasn't
The windows are not down. They're cracked that much.
Okay, we're good.
Now you can see the dog, heavy panting.
I can't tell you how satisfying that was for me to know that she actually got arrested and not just a talking to. Because I know a lot about dogs, specifically because I've been a cop, and one of my big concerns being a cop in Texas is like, what do we do with our canines to make sure that never happens? Like, that's one of the things I always wondered. So I talked to canines. We have there's 3 batteries in their vehicles that's dedicated to the air conditioning unit just in case one fails. Like, there's all these backup things to make sure this never happens to police canine.
Mm-hmm.
But then they explained to me what the dynamics are about heat in a vehicle and dogs, the way dogs' body temperature is regulated. One, they can't really sweat. They sweat a little bit through their paws, and then obviously they use panting. But they run naturally a little bit hotter, and then heat. So although the windows were cracked, and I know you can't see my hands, although the windows were cracked, heat gets trapped ambiently low, like in the vehicles. So the dogs can't escape that. They can't feel that cross. That's why that dog's face was in the window as best as it could be. So people don't realize that dogs, one, they run hot naturally. They run a little bit hotter than humans, but their overheating temp is still the same as ours. So they're running hotter and they can't sweat like we can. So it's really dangerous. Dogs can overheat really quickly. Now, my question to you, Matt, is should we be able to encroach on somebody's vehicle for things like, I'm obviously, I'm a dog lover, so I'm going to say, yeah, my feelings are in this one. My bias is in this one, so I admit it. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, you can. I mean, there's I've seen it on both sides where the dog was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And some Karen decided that they got to rescue the dog and do something stupid. And I've seen it where, the person needs to go to jail. There's a pretty easy line. If it's not safe for a toddler to be in there, it's not safe for a dog to be in there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so for me, I just was curious, is this a line that you draw? Because essentially we're invading somebody's privacy.
Here's my problem, right? Somebody kills a canine, you get felony charged for killing a police officer.
Right.
Cop kills the canine, you don't.
Yeah. And that's happened.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. It's happened multiple times. It's happened in Texas not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's just that's where I see the double standard being.
Yeah. And both times you can argue like, that wasn't my intent. I didn't mean to. Well, it's not their intent to kill their own dog either. They're just idiots.
I don't think anybody should be charged for killing an animal as much as they should be charged for killing a human being. But I also don't think you should get off scot-free if that's what you do.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of people who are putting animals and people on the same footing as far as the law goes. And for emotion, go think whatever you want. For the law, there does have to be a different level.
I agree.
Can you break somebody's car window out, whether you're a cop or a bystander, if that dog's going to die? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, we're going to end the night. We're at 2.5 hours, and I appreciate you for sticking with us, but we're at 2.5 hours. I got a weapons call for you. So this is how we're going to end it. Let me pull this up.
Don't forget your question.
Oh, okay. You're right. Let me go back. I did forget. So Matt,
is it Ryan's?
This is the golden question for a truck driver.
Okay.
You've been a truck driver 16 years. Is it true that you get flashed a lot? No. Okay.
No.
Interesting.
Not anymore. Maybe the more old school guys.
Back in the CB days.
There's not even many lot lizards left, dude.
No.
Yeah, no, that's we're talking like there's maybe 3 or 4 cities in this country where you'd see lot lizards walking the parking lot. That's it. It's
Really?
things have changed a lot.
Wow.
Now, well, it's because now if you wanted one of those, I'm sure you're some dumbass who goes on the classifieds or something or Instagram and just calls a phone number to get one to come to you.
Gotcha.
And then you end up in jail because it's a cop sting.
I was just curious because I remember I told you my uncle was a truck driver, and I remember him telling me he's like, it's the greatest job in the world. He's like, after the Navy, he's like, I just drive down the freeway. He's like, girls showing me all the time. And I was like, what? Really? That's a thing? So
maybe 20 years ago it was.
Yeah, I'm talking back in the late 80s, early 90s. So.
Yeah. No, it's every once in a while, yeah, but not so much. Everybody's got cameras. You gonna flash the truck that's got 4 cameras on it?
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. All right, last video for the night, folks. Let me resize this. All right.
We should be.
Whoa.
Let's say
Senior
if
prank
I
water gun
drove
war
through
almost turns
Sturgis,
deadly.
maybe
That
you'd see
kid's-
more.
What's that? Oh, if you drove through Sturgis.
If you drove, if you're driving through Sturgis, you'd probably get a lot more.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let me hit this real quick.
Senior prank water gun war almost turns deadly.
That kid's family should be planning a funeral right now. That's how close this was. Hey, what, dude? Sorry. Get on the ground. 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 I'm sorry. Bro, holy crap. You're good, dude. You scared. I'm looking for people stealing cars.
Oh my god. Are you how sorry I am.
Oh my goodness. Bro, you just scared the absolute dog out of me.
I'm a very lucky guy.
I'm not mad at you. You are a very lucky guy.
All right, if you're not from
All right. So basically, this officer was called to the area because there's people possibly burglarizing vehicles. It was this kid, and they have this senior prank now. Apparently, this I guess this was done in the past. I've never heard of this prank, but it's really big right now. Where to the point where they have apps and stuff where they have everybody that's on the hit list, and you can see where people are, and if you're wearing certain things, then you can't be shot, but other times you can. Like, it's crazy, and it's the last one standing. It's like a senior assassin prank. Well, and it's with water guns, and this cop was literally thought he was looking for a car burglar, thought he was on his trail, and then all of a sudden this fucking senior pops up out of nowhere with a gun in his hand, water pistol, but you can see how shit could go south real quick. And now the question is, would this cop have been chastised, or would people blame him if he had shot? So I'm going to lean on you first, Matt. Like in this scenario,
I'd say yes. I think the ROEs for cops are way too loose. That's just that would be getting into the gray area.
Yeah.
But I'm on the lines of it should be more like the military. You got to be shot at first. Not quite that tight, but that's more towards the side of things I lean towards, because stupid shit like that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And fake guns are a thing, and it's just we've had way too many cops that just shoot on reaction without thinking. Maybe they thought they saw something.
Yeah.
And I think it's way too loose on the ROE. But yeah, I would say that's where you get into the gray area. That's where it's up to the jury to decide, not the DA.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I say that's the line where you leave it up to the jury of peers and not somebody else higher up saying yes or no.
Yeah. Now, what I really loved in this video, by the way, this is the video I stepped in dog shit, which is hilarious because the officer said you scared the dog shit out of me and I stepped in dog shit. So what are the odds? And what I loved about it, and this was the whole reason I showed it, was that officer's ego. You could tell the adrenaline hit him. He had no fucking clue what he was getting into. And that's why he was like, get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. He got stuck in that OODA loop because he didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to do. He was still trying to figure out what the fuck just happened because this kid just pops. That doesn't happen. That's not a normal thing day to day. And when you think it's no different than when you go hunting and you're out in the woods and you're sitting up in your deer stand and you hear movement. You just keep seeing movement. a fucking squirrel all of a sudden kind of looks like a deer. Like you just like it. Anybody that's hunted knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. So, or you go fishing, and every fish you swear,
or the tip of your rod just moved.
You're like, that's a big one, and then you start to do a couple reels, and you're like, oh wait, no, it's just
I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot. It's a tiny ass fish. So same thing with this. Like I think he was catching up to what he saw and what his brain was processing, and then finally this is what I loved about that officer. The ego didn't take over. He didn't go into, the fuck are you doing to get on the fucking ground? Like, drop it. Like, he didn't go into that because he was wrong. He went into it and went, oh my God, okay, we're both very lucky. Let's just kind of live in this moment where we acknowledge, like, okay, you did something dumb. I did something, luckily I didn't do something crazy. You're good. We're cool. Like the ego didn't take over. Like he was very real about what was going on. And I loved his reaction because now I think he just instilled a lot of trust in that kid with police, just in that one interaction, because the kid was like, I'm sorry, that was stupid. Like
also hopefully taught him pranks like that are a bad idea in America.
Yeah. That's another thing that I was saying. I was like, you're definitely not winning any Darwin points.
It's the reason, let me put it this way. The reason I know we need to up the percentage of people carrying in this country a lot more than what we've got right now is because there's too many prank channels where the fucker isn't dead yet.
Yeah. The best one is that one at the mall where the guy just shoots him right in the stomach.
Yeah. They've done some really stupid over the top shit that actually made people fear for their lives, and they're still alive. And I don't know how the hell.
Yeah.
There's not enough people carrying in this country.
The latest one I've seen is at the New York subways where they do the, now I've never been a part of a subway thing, so please bear with me if I get this wrong, but you have to scan a card that you prepay and it will let you walk through the turnbuckle, right? Well, these kids will come right up, and I mean pressing their junk up on their ass and trying to go through the turnbuckle with them. And I'm like, you are gonna
It's a prank.
Yeah, you're gonna get the shit beat out of you. Or shot, and it hasn't happened yet.
Yep. I said the Bushmen fucking love those channels.
The Bush.
You go.
Oh yeah.
The guys who are dressed up like a bush.
Yeah.
And in Florida, absolutely. Yep. But the kids who go around with a knife, chasing you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fake knife. It's a prank. It's an axe. It's fake. It's not really coming after you.
Yeah. The ones that I remember that I liked when I was like, when E-Bombs World was a big thing, for a little throwback for anybody that liked the E-Bombs World, is this one dude, he'd go to the hood and he'd be like, what, you want something? Like he'd look at people and they'd look at him and he'd be like, what, you want something? You trying to get this? And they're like, oh, you want to throw? And he had like rip away everything and he'd just be in like a Speedo. He'd be like, let's go. And he'd rip it all off. He'd be like, let's go. And people start running from him because he's just in a Speedo. Fucking hilarious. See, that's a good prank.
Yep.
Yeah, you can tell he's not armed. But that's it. Matt, that's all I got tonight. Is there something that you wanted to convey that we haven't got across yet?
Any big stuff? If you're in Texas, start showing up to council meetings with a firearm if you got a carry license.
There you go.
You get a hold of me if you need help filing the AG complaint if you guys won't comply. But I'm really looking forward to showing up to Fort Worth or Dallas and maybe Houston ISD. Houston ISD has been arresting people for saying naughty words too.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So I've got a little list. Like one of the other guys was talking about Conroe. Conroe went and posted 4603 signs on the front door of City Hall.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So we got to take care of Conroe, but I want to get all the birds with one stone. So I need to show up down there for a council meeting so I can get them for the front door sign and the meeting sign.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, Matt, how can everybody find you? Where do they need to look?
HBOMATT on YouTube. It's pretty much the only thing I've got. Emails posted there in the community tab if you need to get a hold of me, or just look in one of the comments of one of the videos. But the YouTube channel is pretty much the only thing I got going right now.
Okay. Sounds good. Alan, you got any closing statements, sir?
No, glad to be back. It's been a hot minute, so I'm
good to have you. Good to have you. Everybody, Thank you for all the donations tonight. Again, that money never goes right into our pocket. It just goes right into the show. We use it for our YouTube premium and for the stuff that we use to edit. It's not like I'm sitting there with a Bentley in the driveway from your YouTube donations. I promise you. Matt, thank you very much for joining us. If you'll just stick around real quick when we end this. Everybody else, have a good night. Thank you. And we'll catch you next Sunday.